Mut.
The first word of today.
My corona. The first word of today.
No, mut.
Mut. So, welcome back to the 84th episode of the Sketchbook Heroes podcast with me, Elias.
Me, Robert. And the Corona Gang.
And the Corona Gang. And the Wild Corona Gang. So, I hope you stocked up on toilet paper because...
apparently, everybody's out.
Our new world currency will be toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, I need those smokes, man. I got these rolls of toilet paper. Extra fine, man.
Lambie.
Yeah. It's like a kiss on your butt. Yeah. So, in collaboration with 21 Draw, if you want to up your artistic superpower, you can pay them in toilet paper on 21-draw.com.
Yes, on the internet with the toilet paper. Or just hit up Instagram, check them out at 21Draw.
Yep, you get like awesome little daily snippets. And there's a guitar. Accidental. Daily tips. Just like random.
21Draw.
So cool. And with that awesome big opening,
yes.
Let's do the intro.
Intro.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
And we're back.
Constantly confused.
So, how have you been, dude? During these crazy times of toilets, like, hogging and toilet paper hogging and, you know.
Well, that's, the obvious answer is great. Yes, stocked up on toilet paper and some canned foods that are left. And, yeah, feeling great. No, actually, after our last session, I actually got sick, like really sick. So, man flu. So, all of my clients disappeared. No, it's I took the safe route and sort of canceled at least the 2 to 3 first days. Mm-hmm. And then slowly but surely they started canceling also.
When everything...
Yeah, but it's like, as soon as you feel like you have maybe something of an illness in your body.
Yeah, you should wait it out and just see what happens.
Definitely. So it's better to be safe than sorry. But I think everybody right now, like if you start thinking a little bit about how you feel, you're like, maybe I have the sniffles.
Maybe I have something,
everybody has coronas.
Yeah,
Corona.
Coronas all around. Yeah. Uno más.
Uno más.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so I had a really nice and quiet week for once. It was really, I think, not deserved at all, but well needed after the whole ski trip and all of that stuff. So just nice to have like a full week off. Mm-hmm. So I got to start my my poster and just watch a whole bunch of shitty movies and shows, and because Anna's work is terrified of beers as well. They closed down for 2 weeks, so the last few days I've been chilling with Anna at home.
Damn.
Yeah, she's like so restless and she hates everything, and I'm just loving it. What about you, man? How have you been?
Dude, nothing special. Like, I've done nothing, basically. I've gotten some stuff canceled, like the Hyper Island thing that I was going to go to because of this, which I understand and totally respect. I think if you can avoid large gatherings, that's good.
Yeah, if you're a Greek person.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to avoid everyone. Yeah. But it's like, people just like... It's not everyone, but I guess the light shines on the crazy when stuff happens, and it's the... the people that hog all the toilet paper, the people that buy all the disinfecting thingies,
and like the mouth guards,
the masks, and it's just fucking. But I love that, like a lot of like big like sites, just like eBay and Amazon, they are starting to like ban people that are doing it, which is
really?
awesome. Yeah, even the Swedish version, like Blocket Tradera,
Oh shit.
are blocking people or like not letting people sell those things because the
Goddamn
preppers.
crazies.
Yeah, but the preppers like, oh shit, I need to pay $1,000 for
Yeah.
toilet paper. Because when I'm dead, I'm really gonna need to wipe that ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
knows when you die, you shit yourself.
Yeah, you do. I was just gonna say.
Yeah, cool.
Perfect minds. Yes.
Exactly.
Not even great minds. Perfect minds.
Perfect minds. Shit alike.
Yes.
It's just the worst.
Yes. So
Yeah,
bad.
but I have personally done nothing. I've been digging a bit around the yard because trying to build a bunker so we can all
Stay safe.
stay safe. I've done nothing. Like I haven't even followed the events of the coronavirus.
Yeah, same
thing.
here.
Like
Like,
I haven't. Like it's.
are
just
you one of
cray
those
cray.
that like even watch the news at all?
No.
No?
No, internet gives me the news.
I don't even go-
if
yeah.
I go in.
That's it. Yeah. No, I ignore everything, and I think we've been that way all our lives, pretty much.
I don't
Just
have
get
that
mad.
worry. I don't have that worry in me that people are like, oh yeah, I need to stock up on this shit, or it's just like I don't have that.
No, but on the flip side of that, it's good to know when you really need to do that.
Yeah, sure, but
Like,
does
if-
anyone really know? Like, I'm gonna just like keep an eye out on who's hoarding, and then just like drive my car into your house and steal your shit. Like that's how I'm gonna do it if I'm gonna do it at all.
me?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna borrow this.
exactly.
Just take one roll of toilet paper and drive out again.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I just need the one hoarder.
Yeah.
But I have nothing else like to say. I haven't done that much.
Well,
I've just been reading about crazy and talking about crazies.
it is fucking crazy.
But
though.
it is fucking the era of or like the people that have bunkers.
The hoarders.
They're not hoarders. What do you call them? The
Horse.
Horse.
Stepping on the toes.
Stepping into it.
Of
No,
all
what
the
do you call them?
horse.
Preppers.
Yeah. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, like people that prep for the end of the world.
I've only
basically,
seen
yeah.
like the show, like one or two episodes of it.
But they must be going like crazy. They're
so
like, yeah, finally, I fucking knew it. I've been preparing.
I've been
for
telling
this
you for 10 years.
10 years. And then as soon as this blows over, they're just back to being crazy.
Yeah. It's so funny too because it is like, of course, it's an epidemic.
It is an epidemic.
It's
like,
horrible.
It's a pandemic.
Pandemic, sorry. And
Pandemic, right?
yes, some sort of emic, and people are dying, which is really it's scary. But they're really old.
Already, no.
They're all really old.
No, but the thing is, it's just like in Sweden, how many people live in Sweden now? 10 million?
Yeah.
About, yeah. And then 3 have died. That's like how many does the normal flu take? It has the mortality or like the, what do you call it? Whatever it's called.
Rate?
Mortality rate is like fairly low, but people still die.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we're not at the sort of like where you have to go crazy of what's happening.
No.
Like it's not great that it's happening, but we are sort of like in it. So you just sit back, relax. If you can stay home, if you have like a cold coming or something and you don't know what it is, stay at home if that's possible. Or you should stay home no matter if it's possible or not. But I'm just saying
like
that
if you're sick, stay
at
the
home.
fuck away from people.
From people, because you should care about people around you.
Exactly, and I think that's a big important thing to remember here.
Because you could be carrying it, like without knowing it.
Yeah. You don't think about it. You go out, you go to the supermarket, you start coughing on like
Old
bananas
people,
and
old people.
Yeah. And those bananas are never going to feel the same again. So think about that.
Corona bananas. She like Corona bananas.
Coranas.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Just garbage.
Oh my God, this is the worst.
Yeah. No, but I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm not very worried.
No.
Is it great? No.
Of course not.
But I really like a girl that I follow wrote that, like, for all those of you that have been hoarding the stuff, contact, the hospitals because they're out.
Oh, that's nice.
And just give it there because you're not going to need 50 million, like gallons of disinfectant and, and, like toilet paper, just like masks and shit. So just like, there is a way to contact, the the hospitals and just like
give it to people that actually need those things.
Yeah, that
Jesus
really do need it. Because
Christ.
if you get sick, they're not going to be able to do shit for you because you're sitting on
You're
all
going to
the
be
fucking,
locked in a fucking bunker
No,
with no cell phone reception and just with a whole bunch of toilet paper. So
and disinfectant you can do something with. I don't know, like wipe the disinfectant with your toilet paper.
You'll be clean, but dead.
What is the purpose of all that toilet paper? Like if you're gonna buy like toilet paper for like $2,000, you could buy a bidet. I don't know, just like
Exactly.
or just put that shower up your butt.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
that's an investment.
just don't get it.
No, but, I'm sure people know something that we don't when it comes to the whole toilet paper thing, because it's in every fucking country. Like I got pictures sent from Sydney. They're out of toilet paper.
But I think I don't know. There's probably maybe a reason, but I just think that people are seeing
You get
one
diarrhea.
crazy. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
So you really got to wipe.
Or maybe you don't. If you have diarrhea, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Just shit it out. Drink some water, stay hydrated, and then stock up on toilet paper.
It's just like I don't know.
Yeah, that's all you need. Or
don't know.
just stick your ass up in the fucking shower and, have fun. Have fun with it. Experiment a bit. Maybe there'll be something there that you like. Maybe you don't like it, but then you can tell your friends that you didn't like it, so you don't have to like force you into anything that you don't want to do.
We both said like a lot.
Yeah, like.
like.
Yeah. So if you like this podcast, please rate us and
On toiletpaper.com.
yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, Corona.
Corona.
Yeah. No, but I think just like you got to respect what's happening, but you don't have to go crazy and buy up all the rice and all the canned goods and
No. And everybody knows that's from Asia anyway, so like, do you want to risk it? No, I'm not letting it go. No.
The Wuhan virus.
Oh, man.
Fuck it. Just be safe.
But it's nice to know that Trump doesn't have it, at least. I saw that this morning.
It would have been fun if he had it.
But he got tested. So, finally, the whole world has been waiting.
It's true. You're positive. You're an asshole. Ta-da! Also, you don't have corona.
Yeah.
That's false.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
So, yeah. What's today's topic?
That
was not
Today's topic is, well, first of all,
yes, that is true. First of all.
Today's episode number is 84, which is a very special number for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because we came out of the womb, not simultaneously, but
and not from the same womb.
Not from the same womb. Are you sure?
Mm.
I don't know.
Like,
it's probably
like
not from a womb.
Yeah.
I think we came out of an asshole. And then got adopted.
If you listen to the first part of this, you probably came out of an asshole.
100%. Or we just became assholes.
That is it.
Yeah. But anyway, so episode 84, we're born 84. So this is sort of a milestone, I think, in a way.
Yeah, for us.
For us.
Symbolically.
And to make that super special, we're just going to ignore that and talk about styles.
And I think we're going to deep dive into our own styles.
Yeah. We'll make it personal, like you should.
And then just like sort of like we start from the beginning and then move our ways up to today. And see where the fuck we landed style-wise.
Exactly. And then with some funny remarks about deadly viruses and diarrhea.
And we'll swear a lot. Because I was listening through like parts of the previous episode, and my daughter's like, "Why are they swearing all the time?"
And you're like, "I don't know."
I was like, "Yeah, I don't know."
That's weird. Yeah,
I'm like, it's a podcast that I
really
listen
bad.
to. Yeah, this is not okay.
Go in and rate them and give them 5, but don't listen to them. No. Yeah,
because I don't remember what we said. Like, "Fuck, bitch," blah blah blah. I was like.
So maybe she listened into the part where we do the swear marathon?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because we don't really swear all that much. Like, we just do it sometimes. Yeah, because I get disappointed when I listen to it, because I think that we swear a lot more than we do. And then I listen to it and I'm like, we're so nice. Like, we're retarded and we just talk stupid shit all the fucking time, but we don't swear all that much.
Aw,
So that's why I try to
fine.
force in the fucks.
Yeah.
And
Force the
that's
fucks, that is
that's
not cool.
so bad.
Terrible thing to say.
I forced the curse words into the
the
fucking
cuss.
podcast. Yeah.
No, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But-
This is how we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But yeah.
I don't even know where to start.
No.
Or I do know where we started, but I
Yeah.
don't know how to start this.
The way we started today was doing a little deep dive in our old shitty
Oh, that's good.
DeviantArt.
That's a good start.
No, it wasn't. It definitely was not. I think that's something we both can agree on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the start was not that pretty.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. And I totally have forgotten because there's some of my first digital stuff there as well. There's like 1, 2, 3 pieces missing.
Mm-hmm.
Except from that, though, Jesus Christ.
But your feed looked so much better than mine. Like,
But I think that's a personal thing, you know, like it's because it is my feed and not yours.
yeah, I guess.
Had it
maybe.
been like my stuff and you had drawn it, like you would have still felt that same cringe, you know, like
Yeah, but
it's-
I think you were a lot more into it than I was. Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
was more focused on, I don't know, the studies or the skateboarding or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the fuck it was at that time. Like, I wasn't as invested as you were, and you and Prakash were really like
but that was
that. I think this was during the time when I was like in Germany and, you know, traveling around a bit. So I missed out on all of that stuff because I did all of that stuff.
yeah.
So, you know, in all fairness, like, you are a lot better than me. You are. Your range is wider. You know a lot more.
I was like,
You know
"Word."
more stuff than I do. So that's why I'm calm right now. I can talk about this. We're okay. But yeah, take her away, Elise.
Yeah. So something that we get a lot when we ask questions to you guys is that it's always about like developing my own style, my style.
How do I make my style?
Exactly.
What
the
is my
other
style?
eye? What is style?
Yeah. What pen is that?
What is? And I also worried about that like way back. But now that I look back, there is a consistency in the way that I draw from way back to now. Like there is still that like red thread that's sort of like
100%.
you can see like influences and sort of where I've gotten them, or I can.
No, I
But
can
is-
see it too.
And there's a lot missing though for you guys to follow that same progression.
Mm.
But it's there. Like it's really there. And you can see some of the like what makes my style today. You can see it back then as well. It's just rubbish. You know, like
But that's where you started, you know?
but it's so bad that I'm happy where I am today. You know what I mean?
You know, you made it.
Yeah, but it's like it wasn't even far back. I think a couple of the pieces are, you know, like they're too new for me to feel comfortable around. Like the 2008 stuff.
Yeah.
That's not that long ago. Like it's still 12 years.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
but
a
it's
long
so
time.
bad.
I know.
Because I got started with digital. Like I think I got my first one, like tablet, in like 2006
Yeah. That sounds about
or
right.
like 5. Yeah, but I didn't use it for the first year or something,
Yeah.
or like 2 years, I think. Like I painted with it once. I did like this terrible Devil May Cry thing. That
Oh,
where
did
I
you
was,
color that one in?
Yeah,
Or was
with,
that-
with the burn tool, with the color dodge or color burn.
So you had one color and then you just...
I did. Yeah, I started with like the flat color, and then to make the shading, I used color burn.
Fuck yeah, airbrush.
Yeah, airbrush.
Yes.
Color burn.
Just make that feather, bitch. Yes.
I wish I had
Everybody's
that.
first mistake.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
I had
Mine
that.
too.
I don't know why that was my like first instinct.
No.
You know,
Same.
I painted like one color, and then like okay, now I need to shade. It didn't go like my mind didn't go pick a darker color. No, it went to burn.
Yeah.
So it's the same color, and you burn.
That is actually really strange.
It's so strange, and I saw it. It was so common.
You
as
must
well.
have seen like
No, but I
a
think
tutorial
a
or something
tutorial
right then
where
when it's
they-
like they used that tool and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, and that was,
yeah.
and I used it on the face and on the thing, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like this looks like leather. Like,
But was it-
no.
Had you hand drawn it first, scanned it in, or like how?
I think this was like straight digital.
Oh yeah.
I think. I don't remember.
Isn't it like the kid like with the red?
No shit.
No?
That is just traditional. That's just rubbish.
Yeah, because
I know which
that's
one you
why-
with the knife and the vampire teeth.
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so which one was this? Was this the one when he walks with the guitar? Over
No,
his-
this is not any of those. This
No?
is just one where he stands like, with his hands on his side, and he has like this leather jacket, but it's folded up to here.
Oh yeah.
And then he just has the silver hair.
Kind of
Silver
like
hair. And
78% of everything you drew back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that
it's
one.
It's just rubbish. It's just rubbish. But I remember just like, yeah, fuck yeah, digital. Whoa.
But you still had like this grasp of anatomy back then. That
That's exactly what I felt when I went back and looked at
that's
it.
what I felt when I saw your stuff. Because I didn't show you all of my stuff, which is why
I
didn't.
really liked the girl that was sitting with her legs.
Oh, the yoga pose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I called that a yoga pose. It was to get away with this
It's
dirty.
basically the Spider-Man like sitting, but
yeah.
weirder.
I don't know. To me, it looks like she's either trying to take a shit or give birth, but she didn't look pregnant. So,
Oh
Yeah.
man, those were so bad. Like
That was-
so bad.
but in all fairness, I haven't drawn that many girls, so that was
Dude, I
yeah.
remember you struggling specifically with girls.
I
when
still
we were-
do. I still do to this day. Like, just if I draw off the top of my head,
Mhm.
I will eventually need to get some sort of reference to get it right. It's just gonna look too masculine, very square-ish and bulkier than yours. Let's say, put it that way, because
Yeah.
you have that grasp of the sleek and nice shapes and forms that female figures do have, whereas I've drawn too many dudes and superheroes to.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
women get thick as well, and I had the same problem, but vice versa.
Oh yeah, you do the
Yeah,
masculine a little bit too
Yeah.
softish.
Yeah, and then all the dudes looked like chicks basically with beards.
That's why we were supposed to do the comic. You were supposed to do the chicks. I was supposed to do some of the dudes. That sounds also really wrong. Yeah.
supposed to do the
Why?
dudes.
Why are we always?
Fuck. This is fuck.
Yeah.
But to start in the beginning, like what made you sort of want to get into drawing? Because I don't remember like what I just always drew. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there was no starting to draw. It was always just drawing.
Yeah. Now,
Like-
to me, I think it must have been.
Love
Yeah.
that it's over.
No,
now.
but the relationship we had with drawing
yeah.
and drawing together, like growing
I
our
think that
friendship.
fed a lot of
Yeah.
the keep on drawing thing.
Exactly. So, back in the day, it was more just a nice time for us to hang out and draw. Like, to me, the drawing part wasn't as big part of the whole thing as us watching a movie and chilling out together. That's what I wanted to do, and then drawing was a side effect. And we could draw, and then I saw you getting better, and I was like, well, fuck that guy. I'm going to get better too.
I remember that.
And then, we've talked about that a billion times,
Yeah.
but that is sort of how, at least for me, it grew into,
But if
I
you go-
need to get better.
Yeah, but if you go earlier, do you remember sort of? Because I remember having the Nintendo magazines, and I would draw anything that came out in those.
Mm-hmm.
And I would draw, if I looked at a movie, because I remember earlier or Disney movies, early Disney, and I was drawing Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, that old stuff. I was drawing the Turtles because this all was out and available. And I was drawing what was that the Steven Spielberg one, the one with the Mice America thing. Oh shit, what was that called?
Something America?
Yeah, whatever.
Coming to America? No,
Yeah.
that's the Eddie Murphy movie.
Yeah, but it's basically the same movie with mice.
Yeah. Fievel!
Fievel. Yeah, exactly.
Fievel!
Everyone remembers that. And then
Yeah.
Fievel in the West and
Yeah.
whatever those movies were called. I haven't looked back on those in
Fuck is
years.
it called?
Yeah, what the fuck is it called? It
Oh,
was a
this is-
Steven Spielberg, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The first one, at least.
Yeah. And they were really good. And I love drawing Fievel, and his friend, that cat, the weird cat. And
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Dude, neither have I. But I've drawn, all of it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't draw it that much.
Land Before Time as well. You
Yeah,
know, the
that
dinosaur.
one was a
Loved
bigger
it.
one for me, I think.
Yeah, because dinosaurs,
Yeah,
and that was
T-Rex.
awesome. Yeah, T-Rex.
That was a
So
badass
it was-
T-Rex.
I think.
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
It was probably not
But
that
it was
badass.
just like, it was magical.
Mhm.
Like, and I was drawing all of those, like, all the time. I remember drawing, like, this super ugly Fievel and then, like, finding it years later. And in my head, I had rendered it so well. So I was like, oh, shit, here it is. And then, like, whoa.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in my head, it's basically like when you play a video game or like
when you make
you're a
love
kid.
to somebody. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. I don't know what the fuck you were trying to get.
Like, you always think you're really good.
Yes, that problem that we always have. But
Yeah,
when you play
sorry.
a video game as a kid, like when I played Zelda as a kid, like The Legend of Zelda, in my head, it was always, the graphics were always like realistic, basically, or
Mhm.
like it felt like a big universe. Basically, like the newer games are, but they weren't. You
But
know,
on
and
the
when
8-bit, yeah.
yeah, but when you go back and like it's so much uglier than you remember. Like you paint it up in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's so epic in your head, and then you go back and you're like,
Moving
"Oh,
squares.
Yes, no, but that's basically it. Because I was like, oh, you got to check this game out. It was so good at
Yeah.
work, you know. And then we Google it, and then it's just like,
Now,
no, because I was like, it was way before its time. It's so good, and then just like,
speaking of that, I just got sidetracking.
yeah, I know.
I just got the so Disney released a little what's it called? Disney Afternoon Pack or something for the PlayStation. So you have Chip 'n Dale's 1 and 2, DuckTales,
like the
Darkwing
movies
Duck-
or the
no, the video
the
games.
oh shit!
the first
video
Nintendo
games. I
video
played the
games.
hell out of that, and I drew the
Yes.
cover of those as well. Like,
Exactly.
I took the booklet and then I
Yeah.
just had it beside me, and I was drawing the cover.
Because I did that too. More of that than actually from the magazines and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was pretty cheap too, like maybe 100 crowns or something.
Shit.
But yeah, you got all of those games, and I started playing Chip 'n Dale's and the
But is that like
DuckTales
a
one,
remastered one?
Nope.
Or is it?
just straight from the Nintendo to the
Damn.
PlayStation. And just hearing the music again,
Mhm.
like, it brought me back.
I can imagine, man.
It was really, and they're so fucking difficult now.
Dude, they were always difficult. It's insane.
how
And I
the
finished Chip 'n Dale. I don't
looped
even know how I fucking did
Varje
that.
varje.
Yeah,
Looped
yeah, I
those
remember
fucking
that.
games. I just played them over and over
Yeah,
again.
same here. Like that's why you were so good.
Yeah,
I don't
could
play games like that.
seriously.
like
I could close my eyes and play that game like when I was a kid, and now I have a hard time getting through the first fucking level.
Dude, I know. Me and Mario at work, we were like, oh, dude, we should like, during lunch, we should just like pack up your Nintendo at work that he brought
Well, yeah.
and just like play some old video games. We can like revisit Batman and then just like play as far as we can. Batman. We got nowhere.
Yeah.
Like we got out of, we
I
got
didn't.
out.
I didn't finish that game at
No,
all.
but neither did I. I only got to the
Okay.
part where you fight the Joker, who the fuck it is, outside of like a staircase thing.
I don't even think I got that far, to be honest.
Yeah, you got to get through the sewer part.
Yeah.
Dude, me and my brother, I remember us sitting and playing that game, and we didn't know that Batman could wall jump.
Ah.
And we were just like, okay, you know, you kill like the first two people, and then you get to that like sort of like
Yeah.
wall, and you're like, what? And then accidentally we figured it out, you know, like an hour and a half later, because, and then we're like, oh my god, you can wall jump, you know, it was amazing. There was like, we didn't read the fucking book. You just drew the
Never fucking
pictures
did.
if there was pictures in
Yeah.
it. I was always like, I remember being upset when the book didn't have pictures in
Yeah,
it.
me too.
Because it was just
That
like,
was the only
oh,
thing I looked for.
That's all I
Yeah,
looked for.
yeah.
Like I didn't. That's why I wanted the booklets.
Yep.
Oh man, awesome times.
Yeah.
But that's like the kind of stuff that made me want to draw. I didn't draw for like any other reason than wanting to draw cool shit. Basically, what I do today as well. It's
Yeah,
just like
that's the cool thing. Like, looking back at it
Yeah.
now, really getting that full circle thing,
Mhm.
it's really dope. But no, in all fairness, I think I made up a lot more of my own things.
Mhm.
And I was inspired by
I did
Looney
that too,
Tunes
but-
a lot. Like, cartoons for me was the big influence. I
Yeah.
loved Taz, you know,
Oh yeah, dude,
Tasmania,
love
the Tasmanian Devil. Those types of comics I drew a lot, and Scooby-Doo.
that. Mhm. Oh, Scooby-Doo, I drew a lot.
But
I love how that didn't stick at all, like any of that. Like,
no,
I can't
not
draw
at
them
all.
for shit.
Same here. Even I still watch those movies though, and I still can't like.
Not
I don't
at
know
all.
why.
I don't remember shit. Like,
Yeah.
I know what they look like, in my head, but as soon as I got to break them down into details, I'm just like, I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, because that's so in my head now. I have this very clear image. It's shit. I know it is, but it's saved, and I've seen it before. But this is something that we've talked about before. When you use reference, you draw something, and then you draw it for yourself afterwards. And this piece of paper has 3 versions of Taz on it.
Oh,
the first
shit,
one
yeah.
is from a magazine or something that I'd drawn. The next one is my own version, and then the third one is an advanced version of my own version.
Yeah.
So really have that implemented
That's awesome.
in
Yeah.
an A4 paper with some really shitty ink or tush magic marker action, and then made. So Taz went from the Looney Tunes dude to this cyborg with a chainsaw hand, of course, blood,
a lot of that.
a lot of
As a
blood,
kid.
and also a red cap. I remember that. And then the last one was like a lion, I think, ish, just a hairy,
like what-
hairy Tasmanian devil.
I did a lot of that as well, where
Yeah.
I took like parts of it and then just made up, what I wanted it to have as well.
Yeah.
Because our brains were always wired that we were going to it was robots and blood and machinery, and cool shit and swords. Anything you thought was cool was like a okay.
Isn't that a scary robot movie, Hardwired? Or
Hardwired, yeah.
With like
I know
this-
which one you mean.
Yeah?
Yeah. When they find the scrap, I think.
Yes.
And then it comes to life and
Yes!
starts murdering everyone.
Oh my
yeah.
God, I need to
I
find
saw
that.
the trailer just a while ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was doing research, I
Ooh.
found that again. It's so bad,
Awesome.
but so cool.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I need to find that and see that again.
I'm just going to try to find... Okay, cool. Another thing that really pushed it, because I remember when we became friends and your dad, I saw some of his drawings and stuff, my mind just looked... Because I think we talked about it just a few episodes ago, that he was the first person to tell me to sketch. And that shit was hard because I was murdering that paper. I remember erasing, and you could see 2 previous drawings on my paper,
Yeah.
And then your dad was like, oh, if you hold a pencil, you could just and then he just drew a head. I don't remember. And it was so good, when you're a kid and you have no point of, I've never seen anyone draw well in front of me.
Yeah.
It's just something I have been doing and no one else around me. And then the first time your dad drew in front of us, 6 years old,
Yeah.
my mind just okay, this guy's doing something differently. And I remember the frustration that came with trying to sketch.
Yeah.
It was difficult to sketch. I couldn't relax my hand. I remember trying and then eventually just getting to that pressing harder.
Oh, yeah.
And the satisfaction that came with pressing hard. I remember being super frustrated, not being able to loosen up, and then suddenly that disappears and you start doing it again.
But that's the thing, because I've always sketched because of my dad. So for me, I don't have any of that sort of frustration. He's always taught me how to work the material that I've been using. So with that said, he doesn't know shit about computers. So that's what I started learning about frustration. But no, it was definitely my dad who also kept me going as an artist or whatever. Kept me drawing pretty much. And mostly because of you guys too, because you kept pushing him to draw because you wanted him to draw stuff. As did I, of course.
But
I remember you and Francisco.
Francisco, that was a bit later than what I'm talking about, but I remember this,
because he he actually commissioned my dad to do
I remember that
Predator piece, I think.
And when he's holding the skull.
Exactly,
I love that image,
and he still has it. He said,
that's awesome.
So I don't know. That sort of. It made me mad that they came to him to get art.
Yeah.
When I was but I'm really good at drawing too. You can ask me to draw Predator, dude. I can draw it for you, man. But yeah, so that kept pushing me too, I
yeah.
guess. Like talking about it now, it comes back.
Yeah, it comes back like the way you felt.
Yeah.
Because I remember being super frustrated because Francisco got, like, I think 2 drawings.
Mm.
No. He got the drawing, and then he started drawing as well.
Yeah.
And he was tracing,
Yeah.
and he was tracing a lot, and he was saying that he did them himself. But when you saw his original drawings and the ones he had traced,
it was a little too...
worlds of difference,
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
And he was like, no, I drew these all by hand, you know, because the other shit was wonky.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that it felt unfair and that I wanted to sort of like scream at him, and maybe we did. I don't remember.
Probably.
But
Well, he was kind of my bodyguard, so I didn't scream at him at all.
but I remember that frustration because he was drawing like these dinosaurs and stuff, and it was all traced. Like, it was just like too perfect to be a kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And he wasn't a talent. Like Anders Zurovsky, like if he had done it, I would have believed it.
Yeah.
Because that kid could draw like from diaper age. Like,
Yeah,
we talked about him
Like,
as well. Like,
we're still trying to reach his level.
fuck, he was good at
Yeah.
that age.
Yeah.
But I remember also, like, in 3rd grade, me and Robert we just set out that we were gonna make money off of our art. So we were gonna draw these animals like realistically and sell them around the neighborhood, like go like
Just
door to door.
Yeah.
Like fucking morons. Thank God we went to people we knew, like your like
My grandparents.
and like, and I remember your drawings being so much better than mine because you actually fucking pulled off like drawing the bear in like 3D, you know, like from what like how I perceived
Yeah,
it, you know,
yeah,
like now
like-
we would probably look at both and laugh.
Yeah. I'm
But-
sure I have them somewhere.
Yeah, your mom framed them. You had them in the fucking kitchen, and I
There you
remember like that bear laughing at me because I was trying to draw the wolves because I was really into wolves, and my wolves, you know, like I took the 3D wolf and I made a flat wolf from the side, realistic.
Nice.
I remember the frustration that I had because you drew this fucking bear, and I'd barely done like a
Barely.
wolf. But man, I was so, you know, like.
But again,
But it
like,
was good. It was a drive.
Yeah.
It was a drive to become better because when it came to this fucking shading thing and the sketching, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I just like wolf, you know. Gotta draw wolf. Then you press really hard and you make a contour.
Of course.
You didn't do contours back then.
No.
You fucking did the sketch and then you started sort of shading your
Yeah.
bear, and it was the right way to go. And I was like, line art, this bear or wolf, and then it just didn't work out, and it just got flatter and flatter the more I worked on it, basically. Like,
But
man.
yeah, no, I remember that. So
yeah, we're sitting in your kitchen
yeah,
as well.
Yeah, and I remember just the awkwardness of going door to door as well. Even at
Yeah.
that age,
Yep.
you're like, yeah, but we have to do it. We have to make
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
Like,
I don't know what we were
ends.
making money for.
Nope.
Like, we had no plan of what to do with
Hell
said
no.
money.
Probably rent movies.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like kid stuff. Yeah, we just wanted to have, like, I don't know, recognition for our art. Like, that we were
Maybe.
putting so much time into it. Because I drew a wolf and something else, and you drew the bear, and there was one more thing you drew.
I also
don't
drew a
remember.
wolf.
Was it a wolf? Okay,
Yeah, a
maybe
wolf's
that was
head.
it. But it was basically like we had 2 drawings each or something, like when we walked out, or 3 drawings. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
And we put, I don't know how much time we put into those, though. Like,
It
I don't-
felt like forever.
Yeah.
But it was probably like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
It was something.
Selling these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to your, the daycare lady.
Oh, yeah.
Because she lived just a few doors, like,
She lived
from your
beneath
grandparents.
my grandparents.
Oh,
in
that
the
was
same,
it. Yeah, shit, that was
same
it. Yeah.
building.
Because I remember, like, knocking on the, like, it's super fuzzy, but I just remember, like, she asking us, like, nicely how we were and how you've been, and, you know, and then, like, we both had, like, a hard time sort of, like, putting up why we were there. And then it was, like, now that I think about it, like, I can see how she reacted. She was like, "Oh, they're so cute," you know, like,
Yeah,
it's such
yeah.
a cute thing. But in my head, I was like, "Why doesn't she want to buy our
Shut up,
art?
bitch.
Yeah.
Just give me the fucking money.
Why doesn't she want to buy our stuff?"
We got candy to buy. God damn it.
But the thing is, I don't remember us wanting to do anything with the money. It was basically
Not
just
at
the
all.
act of switching art for money.
Yeah.
For some reason, because I don't think we had a plan. We just wanted to sell him. Like, she could have given us candy for all I care. Like, I think we would have accepted. It was just such a weird thing that we started doing, like, before we even learned to walk.
I'm sure somebody just told us or something like, hey, you could probably sell your art, you know?
No, man.
And we're like, yeah.
Yes. Oh. 3rd grade. Like, what are you then? Like 8, 9 years old?
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. It's like my daughter, basically.
There you go. Give her the tip.
Mm-hmm. You should probably go door to door to people's houses.
Or maybe just let her listen to this episode.
Yeah, fuck.
Fuck.
Why are you cursing? Fuck.
Fuck's not a curse word.
No, it's not.
It's
the act of lovemaking.
No, that's not it. It's definitely not it.
It's just
I want to fuck you. So romantic.
So romantic. It's just like horrible. Okay, moving on.
Fuck
that.
Yeah. So going from door to door to just staying indoors, pretty much.
Yes.
After, I don't know what happened sort of after that, really.
Okay, how old were we at, like, around when we were 3rd grade? Do you remember? Because I remember in... Shit,
So
we weren't old at all. Like
tops, like 10 maybe tops.
Yeah. So like 91, a magazine called Wizard
I was
came
gonna
out.
bring
Yeah,
out. I was gonna bring up Wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, because Wizard magazine was basically, I don't know, I would say just like a ads magazine, just basically for anything upcoming, like with comics, interviews with, like anyone famous, like I was going to say Jet Li, but I mean Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And, like any other like famous name you can drop in the comic industry at the time.
Exactly.
Was in that magazine.
And that was pretty much the only place you could go to actually read about stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were the only place to go to for me to read about stuff like that.
I don't know where I got them. Like I must have bought them in, like I think I bought them at Comics Heaven. Like, because we started going, we went to Comics Heaven when we were 7 or 8 years old with school. We went to the old city.
Oh, so that's where I bought my
first Spawn.
Yeah. All right.
Issue 1.
That's
how we found it, because we slinked away and we went down there. I don't remember why they would let little kids go off
because we were exploring the street names.
Oh,
and stuff.
That was it.
We were doing one of those,
and then we found that shop. For the first time.
Comics.
And the weirdest part was that I memorized how to get there. So when I was in 3rd grade, because this was later, like during that same year, that summer, I was like, I'm gonna go to the city, and I'm gonna buy comics. So I always saved money as a kid, so I had several hundred crowns.
Yeah.
So I went there by myself, and I bought. I don't remember what I bought.
Anything?
Oh no! Now I know what I bought.
Gen 13.
Yes.
Of course, your first obsession.
Yeah, and I bought those little mini comics, the
actual comics.
Yeah, that are just 30 pages. But I'm just trying to paint them a picture.
Yeah.
But those
a normal issue.
An issue. Yeah. And it was just one. I paid I don't remember. It was 37, and I thought it was a lot. But it was back then, 37 or almost 40
go back
crowns.
there now and look at it.
Yeah,
they are fucking
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah,
but
so I bought that and a Wizard magazine, I think, because they always came. They always had them there, and then once the issue was basically not relevant anymore, it was a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
So I always bought a back issue rather than the one that was out.
Yeah.
And basically you paid for ads. But what I would do with that magazine is, in the middle, it had a how to draw. And sometimes they were really good, and sometimes they were super bad. But I remember there was one of the early ones, maybe the first one that I bought, had this how to draw a werewolf.
Ooh.
It was a black and white werewolf, frontal, with a little girl with a big knife. And I was drawing that over and over and over so I could learn how to do it without watching.
Awesome.
And then I remember going to school and then drawing that wolf over and over, the werewolf. And everyone's like, oh my God, how are you drawing that werewolf? And then this little girl with the crazy hair, like with the knife behind her back.
Mm-hmm.
I was drawing that over and over. And I was teaching people how to draw it. And then I brought the actual pages. I took them out of the thing and brought them. I didn't care. It was like just ads, basically. I just wanted those pages. Plus, you know, like sometimes I found like comics that I thought was really cool. It had like the cover. And then you were drawing those as well. But I remember bringing those pages to school, and like, everyone was around those pages, you know, like at the...
Such a pro.
But, you know, like when we were like gathering after school, basically before your parents picked you up, you were at this like, I don't know what to call it, like the fritis, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just drawing and like hanging out, and insane how popular those like werewolf things came. And I think that's one of the things that I realized, that if you draw something over and over and over again, eventually you'll learn.
Yeah.
And it was probably garbage. Like, even if I drew it like a million times, it was shit. But for my age, you know, like,
less stinky shit.
Yeah, it was. But that is like an iconic moment of when I was like blowing people away with that room.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how we pros are.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even want to see those again.
But it's funny, like, as soon as you explained the image of the werewolf and little girl, it popped into my head. Like, so I have an image of it in my head, but it's probably...
Yeah, but it had like a big, like...
what it actually
you
was.
know, like a collar around it with spikes that went down to the little girl, I think.
So, no.
No. And the werewolf was basically just like, it was like super messy, you know, the way that the guy that drew it, I don't remember who it was. But it was just so iconic in my head, and I could probably redraw it somewhat of how it looked. But oh man.
Cool.
It was cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely remember the Wizard magazines and you having them and I didn't. And just having them as such a big source of inspiration. Mm-hmm. And then, me just, I don't know, I was really into comics and I really wanted to make my own. Mm-hmm. And I did, like, pretty much the same thing I do now. Like, I invent the character and I do a character design and then I just drop it. Because that's the fun part. And then...
and then just, like, redrawing it again after that. It's just, like, pointless.
Yeah. So that's what I did. And then I had... My sister had a lot of Donald Duck magazines, so I copied those. And then we had these tracing paper things for the Disney whatever. So I used those pretty much the same way I used the task thing. Mm-hmm. So just tracing, redrawing, making it my own. And that way, and that way, and that way. And that's how, like, if you asked me to draw Donald Duck today, I could do that pretty easily. Because that's imprinted in my wrist. Like, it's so easy. But that was it. Like you said, I didn't have any grand visions of doing anything with it. Mm-hmm. Like, I just enjoyed drawing from time to time. And then, I still, like, I don't remember how... we got into it or why or like what happened. Just,
like, I remember just like the first days of like kindergarten where we like I don't know if this is like something my mind made up, but I remember like because I didn't want to go to school because, you know, I felt like
Greek.
Basically that. I didn't know the language very well, and I remember like they put paper in front of us and we were sitting at the table. Because I remember the breaks, and I just felt uncomfortable and didn't know who to play with. But then, like, after recess, they basically just put us in a room that just, like, put papers and pens in front of us. And I was drawing turtles, and you were drawing turtles, and, like, this other kid was drawing turtles. And, you know, that just, like, that swelled at everything. And then school didn't feel as bad anymore. Because I thought these other kids don't know shit about anything. Yeah. And I'm just going to be alone, and... Because I had only hung with my brother before that, you know, and I had not, like, I didn't know what they spoke a language I didn't know that well. I could count to like 1, 2, 3, 11, 17, you know, and it was, and then when I got there and we were all drawing turtles, and with the limited language that I knew, and like everyone was just like, oh, turtles, yes,
That's all you needed to know.
Yeah, and you knew the names, and you knew like Splinter, and you just like basically communicated with that stuff. And
Yeah.
that like after that, school was basically easy.
It's like, oh, this is all we need to do.
This is all we need.
And that's all we've been doing since then, pretty
Yes,
much.
Like I don't think we've mentioned anything as much as we've mentioned the turtles.
Yeah.
But it is a big influence, not only in drawing.
No.
It's been
This constant thing
Constant
throughout
thing,
our
yeah.
lives, really.
and it's
really
still
has.
a thing. I've even shared it with my kids, which makes it even more special to me.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that you can revisit it and it doesn't suck because they keep making it better for a newer generation.
Yeah.
I don't think my kids or me could watch the old stuff, like more than the first episode.
Yeah.
And not suffer, because
No.
there was a different quality to that stuff.
Oh
Like,
my God, yeah.
I love it because I grew up with it. But like I've said before, I've watched 38 episodes and they're so tedious because past the first episode, like they start losing their charm because it's not well animated. Like
Yeah.
the intro is about the best.
How fucking
is.
awesome is that intro, though?
Yeah, it is
it's
one
so
of the best
good.
intros.
I
Like,
love it so much.
it's
The
so-
color tone and everything.
everything.
And then
just
when
like-
it flips between this really dark and like they have these glowing
Yeah,
eyes,
yeah.
wide eyes, and then it's the party scenes with them doing
Yeah,
breakdance
doing
stuff.
breakdance stuff.
Good,
Yeah.
cool 80s colors.
Cars flying out of the car and everything.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
And the fucking song, man.
The song is awesome, written by the guy that produced
The
Two and a Half
guy.
Men.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
I
He
thought it was
he-
the same guy that
No,
did everything.
No. That's one of them. That
Chuck
wasn't-
Lorre.
No.
No?
Shucky Levy. Shuki Levy. That's
Shuki
what, Yeah,
Levy.
Shuki Levy. I don't know how you pronounce it, but
Yeah.
yeah. But no. This one is specifically made by the guy. The guy that made Two and a Half Men used to be like writing, like he was a troubadour that did like music for different things.
Holy
and
shit.
they asked him like, "Oh, we're doing this like Turtles thing, and could you write like a song for it?" And then he did, and it's one of the most epic fucking intros ever.
Yeah.
Which is insane because he did Two and a Half Men.
You think he made the song for that one too?
Yes,
Teenage Mutant
Ninja Man. That's us.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, holy crap.
So Turtles obviously was
Yeah.
sort of the grenade that launched us into both friendship and drawing
Yeah.
history.
And actually, now that I think of it, the first time I went to the city alone, I just bought a Wizard magazine because Gen 13 I discovered, I think when I was 13 or 14. It's way later now that I think of it because
It was during that same time when you had just discovered them, and then you showed me Danger Girl.
yeah, that was even later. That's like a few years after that. Maybe we're 16 at the time.
And that's sort of when we started drawing like together for real.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was just drawing that. Like J. Scott Campbell's work. And Loth Lennon knows him. God damn it.
I know. I've seen the
I
pictures.
said, oh, so frustrated.
So
God
next
damn it.
Comic-Con we go to, let's just dress up like Gwen Stacy.
I'm going to dress up as Corona and just
and just get everybody out of there.
out of it.
No. What was I saying? I was saying something.
Yes, we were going to go to Comic-Con
Yeah.
dressed as
Yeah,
that chick.
Gwen Stacy.
Stacy,
and
thank you.
Just smooch up to Mr. Campbell.
Hey, Mr. Campbell.
Want to take a picture? That's not what I imagine Andrea sounding like at all.
But we do.
We will sound
We
like
will
that.
definitely
Yes.
sound like
That's the Gwen Stacy in my
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
But that's awesome that Andrea
Yeah,
knows one of the
it's
biggest
so cool.
idols of
So
my
cool.
childhood because I couldn't stop drawing his stuff.
No.
I thought he got he took the way he drew things, he just understood basically everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that back on the Gen 13 days, and now that you compare them, they're so different. Because even he had, because he was learning as well, because
Yeah.
he was under the wing of Jim Lee.
And he
which
was
is-
one of the youngest dudes in that place
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
He was
But-
18.
Yeah, because I think Jim Lee is the one that saw the potential in him and
And
then
brought him
started
in as an
tutoring him. And
inker.
you can see it in J. Scott Campbell's early work that it's super Jim Lee inspired rather than the
But
thing
look
that
at
is.
like every artist that came like that blew up sort of after Jim Lee did his X-Men run.
Yeah.
Everybody looked like fucking Jim Lee. Like,
or they tried.
Yeah. He really just raised the bar on what comic books should look like.
Mm-hmm.
But even his early work looked like shit.
Yeah, but of course, man. They all started.
Cool
it was
thing.
just like
he
they were better
when
than
was,
you.
He was like 20 when he decided to like actually start focusing on doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've seen his like childhood drawings, and they're really good. He was maybe 8 or 10, and I don't know. He drew some city thing, and it was just really fucking impressive. So yeah, some people are just fucking born with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, I did have a little bit of a hiatus in like intensive drawing stuff. Like I didn't do that for maybe 4 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you were still doing it. So you were like...
I think so. I don't think I ever stopped.
No, you were like molding your skills.
But I could have had like months, where I didn't draw. Like 3 months where I didn't do anything. But then I got back into it and then I fell out of it.
And you still, you had your Kung Fu or training and stuff too.
Yeah.
So you jumped between those, and I did my skateboarding and all of that stuff. And then, somewhere between 14 and 16 there is where I picked it back up again for real. And that's where we sort of hooked back up again and really, became...
Yeah, I think like we stopped hanging out after 6th grade.
Yeah.
And then like 7th grade, we didn't hang that much. Like we were in the same class, the thing, but...
we were still friends.
We were still friends, we were not...
We had different interests.
At the time, very much. And I think like end of 8th grade or like middle, like somewhere along
there.
We started basically finding our way back again.
Yeah. And then...
I think everything lost its novelty, and then we started like, okay, this is what matters, basically, and you start moving back into the things,
Yeah.
Like new friendship, we're like, okay, these are new, but they're not gonna they're not the same thing.
Exactly. You still come back to because we've always had something that's always been very easy, and
there's no expectation.
No.
You come in tired, you're tired. You come in happy, you're happy. You're like come in angry, you're angry.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't matter.
And I don't have to explain myself in any way or make myself into anything. You just get me. I just get you. Like I make fun of you if you're tired. You make fun of me if I'm tired.
Exactly. And it's never like, oh, you didn't call.
No.
Like, we never cared about that. We never had that. Never. It was basically like, oh, we haven't met for 2 years. Oh, look, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Like,
That's always the way.
Yeah,
that's how it's always been. Which is why we don't call that much.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bro.
Fuck you. We need time.
Yeah. But, so... with all that said, that's sort of when I really started drawing again.
Yeah.
And, we didn't go door to door anymore.
No.
That's for damn sure.
But I have another story like that, though.
Hit me.
Because, during these, like, years, from, like, 14 years old, I was drawing comics, like I was drawing Just Scott Campbell stuff. I was drawing the Wizard magazine because I was still buying Wizard magazine just for those 3 pages in the middle that had, comic stuff or like how to draw stuff. I remember a specific one with Jim Lee where he like, oh, this is how you draw foreshortening. And I was drawing that same character over and over, and I remember it sucking. It was just basically, I don't remember the superhero. But it was that one and the fist, like it's basically like a karate punch forwards, but imagine Superman flying as well, like that thing. And he did it so perfectly, and he had these like thick to thin lines, and it was like cross-hatching in pencil, and it was just perfect in my eyes.
Yeah.
And I was trying, and it sucked, and it kept sucking, and you drew another one, and it sucked even more than the one before because you were already frustrated. But I remember just like, I don't know how many hours I killed just trying to do these things. And eventually I found a comic. I don't remember who wrote it, but it was basically how to draw comics. And it broke it down a bit more, because it was all about like drawing it from scratch, basically. And it really helped me like study up on anatomy. Still, it was cartoonish anatomy, But it really helped me sort of get like mileage. I was drawing like page after page of, like a bicep or like a back or legs, a butt, I was just keep drawing like those things over and over and trying. That's when I started doing these little like poses that I do even to this day.
Yeah.
I just draw little characters with no faces, basically dolls, like mannequins.
Yeah.
but with a bit more, you know, like what do you call volume and
just different
muscles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is something that I do to this day. I can just draw those like over and over. Like sometimes I fuck up majorly, but I still do them. Like I think it's fun just to keep doing them. And that is like, I think like those are milestones in the way that I progressed.
Yeah. And at this stage, obviously, we didn't have anything that we deemed a style, you know.
The thing is, I was trying to just draw J. Scott Campbell.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically that.
Yeah, you want to make it look that good.
Yeah, but I didn't want to draw my things then.
No.
I was like, no, I want to be like him. Because I didn't understand the that I would need to have my own thing. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to, like, if I can draw like him, I will make it. Basically, that was my like, and I don't know what I was making it for because I wanted to do kung fu basically.
Yeah,
become this grown-up ninja turtle that I was aiming for some reason.
Well, that was the goal. You know.
So yeah, so art was never a pursuit work-wise. I wanted to like primarily do kung fu because of Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, you know, all of them, and Ninja Turtles. And so drawing was always secondary, and it started showing about that age again when I was starting to get really good at martial arts, and like my focus was getting like towards it more.
Yeah.
And then like art started suffering again. But I really struggled with perfection as a kid. And I think that held me back a lot.
But so like in terms of you being too judgmental on your stuff? Or
early on, like before I even sketched the whole thing, I was like, no, this is wrong. Like, no, this is just a sketch, dude. You can just fucking draw over it later. But I just couldn't get past that stage, whereas you were throwing stuff out, you know, like... You did like this monk in just like ballpoint. Remember the ballpoint era?
Yeah, I remember.
You were just throwing out drawing after drawing. You filled like a page of stuff, and then you were like, okay, now I'll draw the actual drawing, and then you finished that. And I had drawn like an eye, like I'd drawn a face, and then I was like trying to get the eye right, you know, like the other eye.
Yeah,
like you guys mentioned.
The always, the elusive other eye.
Yeah, what the fuck? And I couldn't make it work. And then once I did, I'd drawn the head in a certain angle where I couldn't match the body. That was like drawing the body, erasing the body, drawing the body. Instead of doing it all in the beginning, you know, like just sketching it out and just having like, oh, this is the whole composition. Yeah. This is the pose, this is the thing. And then starting to like work on the details. I just couldn't get there. Like if the face wasn't good, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I just needed to do that shit.
But I had that, you know, sort of period in my art life as well. 100%. I think we've all gone through that.
Yeah, but I wasn't in your head, so I never felt it, you know, and you were always doing like this cool shit, and you shaded yours really well. Because when you were shading, I was still in line art.
That's like, crazy.
That is insane, because your stuff had depth to it, you know, like even if it was wonky as fuck now, if we look back.
Definitely is.
Definitely. But it was still like it had volume.
But that's...
You understood shading. Whereas
that's my dad again coming in. Because he was always... Because you brought up the whole not doing solid outlines on the animals that we drew. That's because of him. Because he's like, well, that's not what it looks like. Like, you need to work with the shadows and depth. You need to work on depth.
I didn't even know what depth was back
I had no idea what depth was. And I was like, yes, sir. Yes,
depth. Depth.
Don't punch me anymore, Dad. I'll work on depth.
Oh, my God.
No. So he was really... He taught me early on that you need to work on shadows to make something look three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Like, this needs to be dark here because you don't have light coming here. La, la, la. Like, he explained it in a way that I understood it without, like, understanding that I understood it. You know what I mean? It was just, like...
Intuitive rather than,
I just
like,
knew it all of a sudden. And then... So, I never, like, learned it. It was just there all of a sudden.
So, I did not have that. I just like, no, that was not a thing. I don't even know when I discovered shading. Like, it was not something that I had seen in any book or anything, you know. Like, I didn't, like, even the cross shading, it took me a while to understand that it was, like, you were trying to bring out a 3D shape, and like to think of the body as different like organic cylinders, basically, you know. That took me ages to realize, but as soon as that coin sort of like fell, I was like, oh shit, or dropped. That's what, I don't know. Whatever it is.
It's a Swedish
something.
saying.
Yeah, it's a Swedish saying that I just translated for no reason. But it was just like when I understood that, drawing just became so much easier than I had other problems that I couldn't solve, you know. But there's always been like some key moments when I understood like, oh, cross-hatching is basically shading dumbed down, but there's a technique to it, you know, that is magical. If anyone looks up Evan or whatever, Evan, the guy that draws like dicks and chicks, butts and stuff with ballpoint.
You follow him.
Okay, yeah.
I don't.
But I followed him for years, and that guy understands cross shading. And when I look at his like cross-hatching, yeah, it's so perfect. Yeah. Like he's really like understood. And his cross-hatching, it's not random. You see that the way and the sort of what do you call it? Like the direction of the lines and everything follows like the purpose. Butt, the boob, the nipple, because that's what he draws. But I can still appreciate the craftsmanship behind it. But another person that really influenced me as a kid, like I didn't read the comics, like I read the ones that I had completed, but I really enjoyed like Adam Hughes, because he could draw women like no one else, and I love drawing women. Yeah. And I loved Witchblade as well by Michael Turner, who unfortunately passed.
Have you seen the documentary about him?
No, I didn't see it, but I know which one.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, I think.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check it
out
then.
Very good. Like he didn't.
Well, I might have seen it actually now that you mention it.
He was really shit at drawing when he started.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yeah. And people were complaining about the way he drew hands and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah. Now that you say that. It's super funny. Yeah. But it is.
Yeah, that's the kids. If you're listening. If you just fucking pay attention to the tutorials that you have right there in your phone or whatever.
Oh, it's insane.
It's going to save you all of this trouble that we've gone through. This is what we talked about before. This is before we had like proper access to any like internet tutorials, or the ones that we did have, you had to like print them out and there was like 2,000 pages of a drawing. Yeah. Like, it's been such a painful process, is all I'm saying. And if you just take a little bit time to go through the stuff that Elias just talked about with all the different poses and anatomy and all of this stuff, like you could do that in a week. You just do that, practice it for a week, and it's probably going to be ingrained in your style.
Yeah, you could probably just like break down a year. Like this month, I'm going to just do anatomy. Yeah. Next, I'm going to do, like
backgrounds
anatomy with backgrounds. Yeah. And then next, I'm going to do vehicles. And then 1 month, because just doing that over and over and over and over, it's going to like, as long as you understand the shapes you're building.
Because you're going to continuously get those eureka moments where you're like, I get it now. Mm-hmm. Like, aha. You're like,
yeah.
Whereas, I'm still getting those now, and it's ridiculous. If I just paid attention in school, I would have known this, or
same.
Like maybe done some of the studying that you did to learn like from the masters. For me,
comic book masters.
Yeah, I stole a few things from J. Scott Campbell because I had the Danger Girl sketchbook, the first issue.
Yeah, I remember that.
The first one.
We had different covers on ours. Yeah. So, I remember that because I bought the first one they had.
And I wasn't sure I bought the same, but then it was the same.
It was the same, yeah.
But apart from that, I haven't drawn anything like straight up copied like J. Scott Campbell or anybody apart from Joe Madureira. He's the only one that I've tried copying because the way he drew hands, particularly.
Love that.
Yeah.
The big, like, gnarly hands.
Exactly. And like you said with Jim Lee, the different line weights and how he just makes it look so dynamic in the way everything looks.
Yeah, Joe Mad really took it to another level. Like
after I saw his stuff, or you showed me his stuff rather. That was it.
I got you the little Battle Chasers.
Yeah, I still have it. I have it with the blue dude.
Issue, yeah.
The blue dude.
Yeah, fuck, I love that one. That was the first one that I found. I got that one when I worked at the comic book shop, And then they gave me, you know, the Battle Chasers
The full
collection, and then I had that one as well.
Yeah.
So you got
That's
that
why I got
one
the
and
one.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
No,
that
I
was-
cherish it to this day. Like, it is, like, for me, that's why, like, if you've seen my comic book arm, that's where it all starts. Like, Gully, or the cover for Battle Chasers, is the first thing up.
Like,
you
yeah,
know.
her name was Gully.
Yeah.
That is, oh my God.
No, seriously, I've read that book so many times.
Yeah, I did too back in the day. Like,
But yeah, everything in that book, like the way he drew werewolves.
Mhm.
I've always loved werewolves as well.
dude,
Like
same.
we talked
that
about
was
that
like
too.
the best werewolves
Yes.
I had ever seen as a kid.
Such a cool concept, like having these werewolf bandits, sort of, so brutal looking and awesome. And
I
he,
love that they had blades, but they're werewolves. They
Exactly.
don't really need blades, but it was
and,
cool.
and he could make them look so scared too. Like
Yeah,
when
yeah,
she
yeah.
gets the gloves and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
power.
and they're like, when he punches the first one,
Exactly,
and
and
it flies
then-
out of the and the other one is scared. Yeah, Oh, man,
Awesome.
I love those.
so fucking
Yeah.
good. And that is when I went like, all right, game on. Like,
This is what I need to do.
I'm gonna
yeah.
fucking be good at this. Like, I
Yeah.
need to be better at least.
Mhm.
Never ever reached that level of awesomeness.
Neither
because,
did I.
of course, I gave up after trying. But that's sort of where the fire really started. So, yeah. And after that, I don't know. After that, it sort of took a life on its own a bit. Just drawing, and then all of a sudden getting that sort of greeting card job. I think.
Oh yeah, the one that
Yeah,
I just showed you.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Elias just found
On
one
my
of those.
DeviantArt. I'll take some of these pictures and I'll put them in my Instagram stories
Yeah,
if you want to see.
I'll do the same. I've saved a few of mine, and it's funny because I've always been super lazy when it comes to backgrounds and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And
Same.
super smart teenage Rob was this. I don't know what got into my head, but I'm like, well, I'll just steal this background image and I'll just paste
Cool.
my drawing on top of it. So that became a little style that I had a while where I drew my
Didn't you have a turtles?
yeah,
one
yeah.
Where that
I've
same
saved
thing?
that
Yeah.
one, but I did like, you know, cartoonish or comic book figures, and then I had like a realistic background or just a photo.
Yeah.
So the first one I think I did was the creature from the Black Lagoon, just
I
like
don't remember that one.
he sort of hugged.
Or
He killed some scuba diver dude or
oh
whatever.
yeah, now I remember. Is that the one with the umbrella?
No, well
No,
that
was
that
another
came
one.
after.
That's the vampire one. Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that one.
So it was just like I drew those and I
Yeah.
loved how that came out, but then I couldn't draw a background and I'm like, how the fuck do I do this? And we just started working with Photoshop at this point, and I'm like,
Oh my god, no.
ooh, internets. And then just found like an image of
Probably the
water.
first search on
Yeah.
Google.
and just like put that in, cut out my figures, put that on top of there, and I'm like, yep, finished. Yay.
Perfect. I'm a wizard.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I was so happy about that. Like, no thought of I'm definitely stealing artwork here or stealing this, whatever it is, cheating my way through everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I had a little bit of a period of stealing things as well. And then, and then we got the actual job. And, I don't know. I feel like I'm stealing every day, but I'm not, because everything I draw now is with reference anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like not my own personal stuff anymore, apart from some tattoos. Like,
Yeah.
but it's, I don't know. I don't feel too happy about that, actually. I should draw more of my own stuff.
Yeah. But there is a different satisfaction in drawing your own stuff.
Mm.
But something that is cool though regarding style is how it looks like the way I drew back then, but it looks so much better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like today, like I've been frustrated with this, like draw this in your style that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But after today, after looking at that shit, that is my old work. Wow. There is like such an understanding, and when I look at the drawings from back then, I'm just like, what was I thinking? What was going through my head at this moment? You know, like I can remember like some pieces because I told you like I was so frustrated with this,
Mm-hmm.
but I basically did nothing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I think about it today, like I would have done so much more.
Yeah.
Like there's not even shading, basically. There's like the darker tone and the lighter tone.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that qualifies as shadow. Like
That's all you need.
And it's just like, it's so bad. And it's basically just me not knowing, you know, what to do.
Yeah.
But I remember like the frustration of the specific drawings, or like a problem that I was trying to do or solve, or, you know, like, and I just couldn't. And then you did what you could.
Yeah.
And then now you can see all of it just like being shit. But I think though, like I started with digital stuff, like we said in the beginning, like in 2005, I bought my first Wacom tablet, a Graphire 4, like a beige and gray. That was the colors that it had. Such a weird color combo.
Isn't that sort of the same?
Yeah. It's just such a fucking terrible like look on a tablet. But it was awesome, I thought.
But it's the olden days, you know. Back then we didn't have
and
color
I got
TV.
a CD-ROM from like the comic book shop about how to paint comic style. I don't remember what it was called, and I looked at that and I drew that whatever was in the tutorial. Yeah, and the second drawing, I bought it for this reason and this reason alone. They had a J. Scott Campbell like
tutorial?
inked Danger Girl, Abby.
Oh.
As there were two examples in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the second, or maybe it was separate CDs. I don't remember. I bought two. And the other one had J. Scott Campbell, and then this guy painting it, like, you know, in the CD-ROM.
So
I had to like,
learn how to...
but I had them both on the same computer, and, you know, the screens back then were super tiny.
Oh, yeah.
So you just like, you look at the video, and then you pause it, and you go back to Photoshop, and then you start painting, and then like, I don't remember. You go back to the video, you play it a bit, and then it was also clunky. And, you know, as soon as I tried painting without it, or no, this is what got me started. But prior to this, I just couldn't. I drew the Devil May Cry thing.
Yep.
And then I just like, never again. I just put it in there for like 2 years. And then in 2007, when I came back from stunt school or whatever, that was even 2008.
Yeah.
I started painting for real. Like I bought a MacBook and I started painting with that Graphire. And then like painted like every day, like all the time. I was trying to learn and you know, tutorials weren't as common as they are today. Like now YouTube is full of them, you know, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I remember having like printouts. Like I had this like big folder that I had of printouts of things I wanted to learn or draw or, you know, like, and it was basically just comic book covers, game covers, character stuff that I found.
Same.
It was just like
so many trees have died.
Many trees, and the Frank Frazetta things.
Oh,
just like printouts of his work, basically. Because I couldn't afford to buy the books because every book was like 300 crowns, which was like...
I didn't even know where to find those books.
But it was just like, I knew about the comic book shop. I just couldn't afford the stuff they were selling. Like, I think I bought the Battle Chasers one would have cost me like 230 crowns because I worked there.
Yeah.
I got it for free, you know, like I worked for free, so paid me in comics.
Yeah.
And just like, I really invested in learning Photoshop. So I took like this one crappy tutorial on DeviantArt, you know, which wasn't, I didn't think it was crappy then. Now that I think about it, it could have been better, but it was what I needed at the time, you know, and it sort of resonated with me. And that's why I encourage everyone to, like, you don't have to be perfect at drawing. As long as your stuff sort of resonates with someone, the way that you teach, if you teach one person, you've done something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And these tutorials, as clunky as they were also learning. They were just a few steps ahead of me, and it was relatable. And I think that's important as well, because it's super hard to look at someone that's already, like, if you're trying to achieve J. Scott Campbell quality in your line art, or Madureira, you know, or Frank Frazetta, it's so far from what you do that it's going to, like, you're going to feel the burn. But if you start, you know, with someone that's a couple of levels ahead of you, sure, you'll pick up some of their mistakes, but it might also be just a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because you go in with that sort of attitude of like, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
Instead of being like terrified. Yeah.
And everything you do is going to basically, like, it's going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And Like for me at the time, being a perfectionist, that was like a better approach for me. And then eventually, your confidence goes up, and you try to do more advanced stuff, like a little guy being hit by a car and the car flying and breaking behind him.
I really love that though. Like the colors you used in that piece was dope.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It's really good. It's very good. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
I'll post that later as well. Just keep an eye out on my Instagram. I'll try to not post anything until next week when this is released, and then I'll post it. Just that awesome stuff that Robert loved. Smart move.
Yeah.
But drawing wasn't like I lost interest in working with it though. So it is a bit tricky to, I don't know, like when I got into the industry, I was so focused on other stuff. So I don't know, like I sure I had been drawing, but I skipped so much of the fundamentals that, like we mentioned in the episode about imposter syndrome and stuff, it got hard. Like once you get into the industry and you're not that good, like you have a couple of pieces that you spent ages on and they're fine. But as soon as you get into production work, fuck me, it gets stressful.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I've always, like, if you have all the tutorials, that you need out there, like from professionals to amateurs, and the quality differs. Even the pros, I would say, make some terrible tutorials.
Yeah.
But just find the ones that work for you and just follow them,
Yeah.
Because as long as they teach you something, it's a win.
Yeah, exactly. You're always going to learn something, though.
Yeah, I think so.
It's never going to be a total waste of time.
Yeah.
Even if they are like really bad teachers, they're still showing you how they draw, and just watching that process will, get you a lot further than you not seeing it at all.
Yeah.
But with that said, I do regret not doing more tutorials and stuff now, like having faucet in hand.
Yeah.
It's always like that when you start, thinking about the stuff you could have done, there's so much I could have been so much better at,
Same.
But I'm really
no regrets.
No, exactly. I'm really happy with where I am, and all the turns that I've done in my art career or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been good turns. It's never been
eventually they all led to the right place. Yeah.
Because I never ever stopped, like gave it up.
Yeah.
I always kept it, even if it was really just like, a little doodle before I went to bed or whatever it was still always there.
Yeah, always
like
there.
A constant.
It was never when we say we didn't draw for a couple of months or a year or something, like I think we basically doodled, like you did stuff, but you didn't make pieces. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It was never, with the goal to finish something, or it was just doodling. And,
on a page, you just drew stuff, next.
Keeping it warm, pretty much, I guess.
Keeping the engine running? Maybe?
Yeah.
Just like something.
But totally without thinking of, I'm going to lose something if I don't keep practicing. It was just for the joy of creating. And that's where I still am today. And I think I've gone up and down, and it's still that way. Right now, it's like the daunting process of painting something that size by myself, the poster I'm working on. Like
that was like 100 by, what was it? It's fairly big, right?
Yeah, it's that size. It's the whole.
Oh shit! It's that big one.
What is it? 70 times 100.
Yeah.
Centimeters. Which is for a lot of people not that big, but for me it's huge.
It's fucking huge.
At this stage, I've sketched out the whole piece and I put 2 faces on it. But just putting those 2 faces on it took a whole day.
Fuck.
And that's just the initial sketch of those faces. I still need to properly render them and then color them and then add the next layer and the next layer. And then there's all the other stuff that goes into it.
Yeah.
This is going to take months. That's why at this stage it is I'm so lazy, it hurts to know how much work I still have left.
Yeah.
And it's all, it's not even free work. I have to pay.
You're the person that paints them fast. You know what I mean? When you draw them, you get them, fast. But
Yeah.
I've seen you work like on stuff that you just like, okay, I'm going to draw this thing. And then you just like,
Normally, yes.
yeah.
But now it's the
Pressure.
size is bigger too, and that added pressure.
Yeah.
And I really want to make them look really like
Like they do.
unmistakably the characters, you know?
Yes.
Which normally I do my own version of the character, which that's why it's fast.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I get lucky
You
and
take
it
some
really
liberties,
looks like the character. But with this, no, like I've been very careful in doing it. I'm not super happy yet anyways, but I never will be. But it's just, I don't know, because I posted a question on my story regarding styles and my art process, if anybody had any questions. One was like, give us a full tutorial of your painting process, please, which would be awesome to do. I'd love to do that. And I pretty much do with most of my posts.
Yeah, I think you post them like basically the steps, like the bigger steps.
But at some point I should like just videotape it all so you can see the actual making of everything.
I hate filming when I draw traditionally though. Like it's so tedious.
Yeah, I don't know how to
up,
set it up. Like, and it's always so dark in my place anyways. You're not going to see shit. But I did get a nice, like, well, it's a good question. And the question is from Colorful Minds 01. Do you ever purposefully change your process to give yourself a challenge? That's something I haven't really thought about, but I think I do to some extent. When I do my portraits, it is the same process over and over. Sketch it up, line it up, go from the lightest color to darkest color, and add whites. That's the process. Super easy. But then what goes around it and all the different sort of colors and stuff, that's always an experiment. And every single step of that way could potentially fuck everything up. So it's always very nerve-wracking and fun doing those experimental pieces. With this one, because it is so big and so
time-consuming,
I don't know if I have the balls to experiment with different colors.
Much, yeah. But I think
so probably
this
won't.
might be the good place to use the experiments that you've done in the past to do a finished piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because usually I would say experimentation, I'd rather do on, like, I wouldn't experiment on a client's thing. You know, like now most of them are digital, so I can.
Of course.
But time-wise, you know, and like trying to not waste time.
Yeah,
and just like
that's key.
Because I'd rather just be finished early rather than, which I never am. But the aim to finish earlier, so I don't have to spend, you know, like 20 hours on a 10-hour pay, you know, like, which I normally or have done in the past. Now I just do live gigs, so they're just an hour. So I don't have to. I can't overdo it. So, but it is. But I think that's the approach. Maybe that is the smartest here, since this is going out. To a gallery.
Yeah. But it's still like I'm still undecided of what the actual finished piece is going to be.
You haven't sketched it out before?
I've sketched out maybe 5 different alterations or versions of it. And then I started drawing this one. I'm like, well, all right, it's already made this a little bit too big. So now it's already changed.
Yeah.
And then I did the first head, and I'm like, okay, that took up this much space. I'm not going to have room for this and this. Well, all right, yeah. So it's taken it takes a life of its own.
Yeah.
Which is why I love working with traditional stuff.
I get it.
Because I can plan and plan. But when I actually start doing it, and you know, when I start tweaking the face to make it look more like the face, it grows. Normally,
it sounds like my digital, my inks, my traditional inks. I have this plan, and then like, oh, this does not fit anymore, or
exactly, and then you just have to scrap that plan and go with it. Like I still have the base idea for what it's gonna look like. You know, it's not gonna change all that much from the initial sketch or thumbnail, but still, it's already taken its own life.
Yep.
Which. Well, that's what it feels like. Yeah, it's killing itself. No, but it's taking a life on its own, is what I mean, and that's the best part of the process, I think, just seeing the way it develops and grows into its own thing. even if it is daunting, and I do sometimes feel like just shooting myself because it is so much work. And for some reason, Kurt Russell is a fucking pain in the ass to draw because, you think he's got a simple face, but no, it's so fucking difficult to get it just right.
Yeah, I've seen the Big Trouble in Little China sort of like fan art and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not always great. Yeah, so it's a hard face to get.
Because I did that one, and he looks more like a happy hamster in that one. And I did one prior to that I think I've definitely removed from my Instagram because every time I saw it, it was just like sticking in my eye.
Yeah. How is this me?
So I removed that one too. So I have tried drawing him 2-3 times before. Still not there.
But in regards of style, do you feel that you can see your style through the ages and it's still sort of like, do you still draw or make that, like, does your art resemble your old stuff but way better? Do you know what I mean? Or have you changed entirely?
No. Not at all. Like, if I draw just drawing, I would probably go back to doing more like cartoonish or comic book characters. Yeah. And if I did that would look a lot like my old stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just ingrained in me.
Yeah, the way that we...
Yeah. Hopefully a little bit better. But I did realize somewhere, or actually not somewhere, 2012 was when I started drawing portraits for real.
I started at King, basically.
Yeah. That's when I like...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because you started doing... Because you were in Denmark. When I got the job, and then 3 months later, you got your job as well.
The True Stories job first.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit, that was it.
So you still got yours first, and then I got True Stories.
That is true.
And between me finishing school and getting that job, I was drawing a lot more. And that's when I started drawing portraits just to try it. And I think I drew Natalie Portman as one of the first ones. And from there on, I just this was a lot of fun, but I'm not there yet. And I really wanted to get better. And I kept pushing and pushing. And it's like, I was stuck in the same rut. Like, it didn't look bad, but it didn't look super good.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't. Like, I'm still lacking the finish, I guess. Like, there's just something that's not there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, and that's where I need to take myself out of it a lot more and really look at when I think it's finished, look at it and okay, so what do I do to finish it? Like, I need to go past it. Maybe just send you a picture of it. Mm-hmm. Like, I've done what I think is sort of the finished thing. What would you do to get more feedback from people, I think.
Just to get an honest,
Just push me the last little bit. Yeah. That's where I need help, I think. Yeah. So, but yeah, just to answer your style question, sorry. Yeah, I think it's definitely unmistakably the same.
Yeah.
Same with looking at your stuff now, because you have sort of been in and out of your thing almost. You do draw similar things now that you did back then, because you are very into the anatomy and doing these really cool poses, but your poses have evolved and become more and more advanced. Same with the clothing and faces and hairs and shading, and everything has just become better and better and tighter, which is because your progression is so much more fun to look at, because it's just so apparent in a way.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to explain it in a good way, but
maybe it is because I'm drawing basically the same things. Maybe that's it.
I mean, that's the only way I can explain it. Yeah, whereas I've been jumping all over the place. I have the comic book style one time, and then I go into this graffiti ink style, and then I go from there to this other, I don't know, my school period where it was just technical and, technical illustrations and stuff like that, and then into realistic stuff and just working off of reference images and I'm all over the fucking place.
Yeah, no, but I get that.
But I don't know if it's me being insecure or me not feeling like I've found my thing up until I did the posters, I think. After that, it was more like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
and the continuous pursuit of becoming Drew Struzan. Like, that's the goal.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
Yeah. Maybe I should just start tracing.
Tracing is the shit. But
Yeah.
he said you got to learn it first.
Mm-hmm.
That you earn your right to trace.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm still not there.
No, but like, I wouldn't enjoy it as much if I did trace. Like,
No,
unless
hell
I
no.
was, if it was work, I wouldn't mind tracing to get, like, to save the time if I knew that I could basically do it without.
Yeah.
Because I think Drew Struzan has that, you know, like, he's done enough work to sort of, like,
Yeah.
you know, he can do it.
Exactly. Yeah. But even, like, I could have done one of those, you know, the grids for the poster.
I hate that. I don't enjoy that.
I hate it.
it's- Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it at all. Like, I would never draw, like, a grid for
No.
anything.
No.
Just drawing the grid, I'm out. Like,
Exactly.
just boring.
Like-
Just like, ugh.
Yeah. No. Then it becomes more of a, I don't know. I wanted to say more like a job than, you know, a fun project.
I think so.
It
Like,
just
it takes
becomes-
away the creativity,
Exactly.
and it gets into, like, sure, you could replicate the image, but it's so boring.
Exactly. And that's not what I'm after with my
No.
posters anyways. I want them to have their own life and
Yeah.
identity. So that's why I like, because we have our own private group for the event where people
Mhm.
post the progression of stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's why like I had felt like I had to write that, you know. By the way, like I draw it as I see it. I don't line it up. I don't use any grids. I don't
Yeah.
use any of these.
People do that in that group, or
Some I'm pretty sure they're just
Ah, okay,
traced
okay.
straight out.
Okay.
Like it, like I can't say it straight to them or like
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I'm only speculating. Maybe they are that good and that fast,
yeah,
but I kind of doubt it. I think some do the Struzan route where they, you know, they trace
trace the outlines.
yeah, and then color it in their own way,
Yeah.
which it's
Which
still art
it's
and it
art,
still
yeah,
looks
it's
really
art.
fucking good. You know, that's how you get an accurate, good poster.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy it. Like,
It's-
it's not for me.
yeah, same.
To each their own, though. Like, do
Yeah.
it however you want. Like,
Yeah.
I like the challenge of having to do it.
Exactly.
Because every time I make mistakes, it also forces me to, you know, like, learn. From it. Yeah.
Mhm. Definitely. That's
Because if I can't do it without, I'm never going to be satisfied.
no. Imagine me submitting that piece and I've traced everything.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't work for me. Like, that would not work for me at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would feel like a fraud.
100%.
Even if everyone loved it, I'd feel like a fraud.
Yeah, because you like I didn't draw it.
Yeah.
I
that's
just
what I would
colored it,
feel like,
or
yeah.
like yeah, if that even, you know.
No, but it depends. Like, if I can't openly say that I traced it, it's just like,
Yeah,
you know, and that takes away from the whole thing. Like, why do it?
exactly.
And I think that when painting something or a portrait or something, I feel like even if I'm not that good with portraits, I always add something to them that just
make them unique
wasn't
or-
there, because
yeah.
you're drawing from photos. So you're basically creating, you know, something from that person from several photos. So, yeah. But just to sort of wrap it up to today, though, like talking for too long, super tired. No, but I also love how I sat and now I'm just like lying over two
Yes.
chairs. Just like, I
you know,
love
it's-
this new setup.
Yeah, no, it
The
looks way too
slippers as
comfortable.
well. Oh, this is the best.
He's like just laid across two nice soft chairs with slippers on.
And I'm just getting
just
like more.
yeah,
and
he's just
more
falling into it. Like by the time we're finished, he's gonna grow into the fucking thing.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm
though.
sitting like this fucking
Yeah, you're
monk,
like like
lotus, just meditating here in my little place.
But today, though,
Yes.
do you have like influences like in the past?
Apart from my dad,
Like, yeah, like anyone that you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, like, I don't have that anymore. Like, I don't have Jason Campbell. Like, I still enjoy the way that he does stuff, but I don't see him posting anything. It's always like I love his pencil work. I don't like when people color his work.
yeah, no,
I don't have that same enjoyment because I love his
Yeah.
penmanship.
I love the inks sometimes as well.
Yeah, no,
Looks
I don't
really
mind
good.
the inks. Yeah, I don't mind the inks.
Because they
as
do
well.
that
It's the
really well.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love seeing him ink and how seamless it looks.
Yeah,
Like he's just
I
like,
hate that.
like stroke.
They make it so easy.
Yeah, and they do it in a way that looks like machines are making it, because they've done it so many times.
Same with Todd McFarlane.
Oh yeah, it was same.
It's just, and I love that he's so active now. Like he's really,
he's fucking like posting all the time, doing live stream after live stream.
He sort of took that role, I think, after Stan died. Yeah,
I think he was doing it before.
Yeah,
as well.
he was, but he sort of went into it in a whole different way after Stan passed.
Because I don't think I've seen that much after Stan passed.
No, but he's super active, and he's gotten a lot more like back into drawing and stuff again, which is great to see. Like he's actually drawing some of the Spawn
cool
issues and stuff. Because Spawn just had a world record breaking thing, like the longest running independent comic book in the history of the world, which is pretty cool. 301
but does he still
or
do?
3. Yeah, he does
still interiors.
Not, I think now for some of the issues, but before that it was Greg Capullo who took over the mantle.
Shit, Greg Capullo, what the fuck?
Yes.
I haven't heard that name in years.
So that's actually the tattoo I have of Spawn is Greg Capullo's, just so people are up to date with my tats. But apart from Drew Struzan, I would say I don't really have any sort of big heroes or anything that I look up to now in terms of drawing stuff. I get inspired.
I get inspired as well, but that's basically it.
Yeah, I just look. I love seeing people create things. That's my thing. Programs like Man at Arms on YouTube, for example,
Man at Arms
where they create like weapons,
swords,
and stuff.
and shit. Yeah,
but just seeing them create from scratch and stuff, it's so inspiring, and that fuels my motivation, and that makes me create.
You know Man at Arms, who that is, right? The character. It's the one from He-Man.
No,
he had like a blue hat. No. That's where the name comes from.
Oh, really?
Man at Arms. Yeah.
Oh shit! I was never that into He-Man.
He-Man. The gayest show in the world. So good.
I need to see the new one. Is it out yet?
No. I don't think they've done anything with the new show yet. Like it's just been announced.
No. They
Is it out?
Yes.
What? I totally missed that.
Matt Drawing even published the thing in the Aspats. Or was that you?
No.
Like
I know they mentioned that they were
list, the cast.
Yeah, the
list.
cast. I thought that was like
they've recorded
they were
it.
gonna make. Oh, so it was already. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm
big
gonna
cool
check it
names.
Out. Yeah, I saw it. Mark Hamill and some other ones, but
and it's so cool that Kevin Smith got to do this. Like he's been nagging about this thing forever, but not being able to talk about what it is.
Yeah.
So when he finally got to reveal it, it was awesome.
Shit. He looks so weird now that he's lost so much weight. It's so weird.
Yeah. Did you ever see Reboot?
No.
No. All right. So I'm not going to say anything. It's funny.
And I need to see the movie as well. Jay and Silent Bob.
Reboot.
Oh, it's
That's
called
what
Reboot.
I meant.
Oh, okay, that was it.
Yeah. Like if you haven't seen or if you don't like any of Kevin Smith's older stuff, don't fucking see this movie.
Oh, okay.
Seriously. Because this is just a big homage to our lives, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, fuck. Mallrats, dude, shaped us.
Yes.
It was like someone made a movie about us. That was so fucking good.
We should watch that at some point.
Oh, can't we watch that? I actually want to see that more than any of the other ones.
Yeah. All right.
We'll do that one for homework next week. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, what the fuck did I ask you about?
You asked me about heroes.
Heroes, yeah.
And
nothing. I'm basically the same. I find styles and stuff that I'm interested in, and I look at them more analytically. Yeah. Like I enjoy them first, but then I'm like, oh, like there's this guy. I don't know what the fuck. How do you say his name? But it's like Nbeka something on Instagram, and the way that he draws, like how he uses, like. There's not much contrast in his work. And then he just has these like little areas of like really dark little like
the focus spots.
Yeah, sort of. Like those like ambient occlusion spots, like under the armpit, like during like a little belt clasp or something, just like little areas where he just has these like super darks. But the rest of the image, like it has impeccable anatomy, but it is like, it looks like here we go.
Damn you hamburgers.
But he does these like super realistic, like anatomically correct people, but stylized.
Yeah.
But then the faces are basically like anime or like manga.
I think I know who you're talking
But he doesn't
about.
paint out the eyes. They're all like this shaded type of
And very
grayscale.
and very faded.
Faded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I showed you those.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
guy that just, and he just pushes out so much volume. But then you look at it and he just like, he stays in the middle of the fucking, like the darks and the contrast colors, just like in grayscale. It's just like, it doesn't go like the full spectrum.
No.
He doesn't go white. He doesn't even get close to white, and he doesn't get close to black. He's just somewhere in the middle,
And that's a
doing magic.
mark of a true fucking pro.
Yeah, and somehow he gets all these
you don't need it.
volumes out and everything. Because I'm more of like, I use maybe 80% of it. I never go white. I never go black.
Yeah.
But I'm somewhere like in between there.
Yeah.
But I just can't do what he's doing. Like, it's so fucking, like, I've tried, and every time I do, it just goes flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how he gets that. And I don't know if it's a thing where it's just like, I like when he does it, but I want more contrast. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's probably that.
It's probably that, yeah. But I still enjoy, because I don't feel as, like when I was a kid and I was like trying to find my style, which now that I look back, I'm like, you had it all along, basically. Yeah. And that is, I think, something that like anyone there struggling with finding your style, you're already doing it without knowing it.
Exactly.
No matter how much J. Scott Campbell you're drawing, no matter, that whatever you're doing, you're always like honing that style.
Yeah.
You're going to see it in like another 10 to 15 years, but it is happening as we're talking, like it's
already there.
It's already there. Yeah. Like you're going to see your style.
And that's something that because we did talk about style in the previous episode, I think like 57 or whatever it is, probably even earlier.
Remember. Yeah.
But we had such a great definition of style in that episode, and we said something along the lines of style is just an artist's way of showing or like being recognized by another artist in the way you work. Or
I think that
for you to recognize me in any piece that you see. Like if you look at that board with like a whole bunch of doodles, you see my thing and you know that's Rob.
Yeah,
like I haven't signed it, but it's my style. And you can see the penmanship and the sloppy face that I did.
Yeah, you recognize it.
So it's like the artist recognition to another.
But it's also, I think we said that it was like the way we all draw the same thing. We all interpret it in our style. If we're drawing the same thing.
Yeah.
You're always interpreting, it's always your style because you have other frames of reference when you're drawing the same thing as I am.
Yeah.
So like the styles are going to be different.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Because that's, I think, like people that go to the same schools and learn from the same teacher will have some similarities. But even then, there is always that personal observation where you paid more attention to the right side and I paid more attention to the left side of something,
Yeah.
And then that'll come out. And then, whatever you experienced up to that point that made your decisions for you, basically.
Yeah.
I think it's always happening. You don't have to worry about your style.
No.
I did a lot. I got stuck in the details, frustrated as fuck, and then I ended up drawing, like one side of the face for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And this is not even, like, I'm not exaggerating when I say that I drew, like, the same thing for hours. I did exactly that. Like, I could sit and just redraw a head all day.
Yeah.
Without, like, I was wasting time, basically.
No, you weren't.
No, but I would say in a sense I was. It's basically like when people draw things, they're like, I'm really good at drawing things. And then, like, there are some people that have drawn so many drawings, like way more drawings than I produce in a year. But then you ask them to draw without reference, and they can't draw anything.
No.
And that's because they don't know what, like the thing they're drawing. Let's say they drew a car. They can draw the car, but they don't understand the shape of the car. They don't understand that it's basically, you know, like a cube, or like a, you know, if they're drawing something that it's a cylinder, like followed by a cube, followed by you know, like a rectangle on top of that. Yeah, they don't understand what they're drawing. Yeah. So you're basically just drawing what you're seeing, but you're not understanding what you're drawing. And I spent a lot of time doing that as well, where I wasn't breaking down J. Scott Campbell, for example. No. I was blindly drawing it. So as soon as I didn't have J. Scott Campbell in front of me, I couldn't create it. Yeah. And I think that's the difference of learning to draw fast. Yeah. And the way that
overuse of reference as well, which
exactly
is
that.
I feel like that's a trap, or like it can easily become a trap.
Yeah.
That you.
At least if you're not using your reference, you're not breaking it down like, oh, this is how you draw cats. No, exactly. You just draw the cat.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what happened, or that's what's happened to me, because of so many tattoos where, you know, the client has the reference and like, I want this. So you copy it and copy and copy and copy and copy. So I don't draw it myself, which is something that I want to slowly start pushing more towards. Yeah. So, and that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it is indeed. But
yeah,
I think that is like, if you're going to take anything away from this, is basically how to learn to draw more. Your style, you never have to worry about. You're basically already doing it. Yeah. You can always focus in on the things you want to improve on. Like, I struggled with eyes for years. Like, I was drawing them too big, and they were becoming like, oh, you're drawing like manga. I'm like, no, I'm not drawing manga. But because my eyes were slightly bigger,
it just automatically
became manga because that was popular. Like So it took me years to work that habit out. And then you saw one of them that I showed you, that where the eyes were too small instead.
Yeah. Still loved it.
Yeah. But it had potential. Like you could definitely see my work today in that image. Yeah. There's a lot of it there.
No, but there's a lot of stuff there that, like, I would love for you to redraw or like do now.
Yeah. But that one I could definitely see me redrawing, that thief girl.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Like, it's fun to go back. But it is like, oh my God, the cringe of the decisions you made. Or like, I remember, like I told you, like I felt so proud when I did this sketch.
Yeah.
And then it was basically like her lips were covering half her face. Basically, it's just like,
oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's pretty cool though. That's why we always say, like, don't delete old stuff. Or like at least save them somewhere.
Exactly. You need to do one of these cringy time travel trips.
Yeah, like, holy shit. And we have a lot of, like, I think I have stuff online going back to 2004 at least that I haven't erased. So I think, like,
2005 was my first post.
2004 was my first one.
DeviantArt.
And I might have some traditional stuff, actually, from 2000 something. But I think 2004 is when I joined DeviantArt. That's like, I was the only one that had DeviantArt, I remember. Because some chick told me, like, oh, you know this? Because I think I found her on something called Elfwood. For anyone that remembers that.
I remember.
And she gave me a tip because she liked my work for some reason, dumbass. But, you know, you're on the same level and you sort of enjoy each other's, like, art. And then she gave me the tip about DeviantArt, so I joined. It was insane. But enough about that.
What a trip it's been.
Yeah. Hope that sort of like inspires you, and hopefully if you didn't hear the one about style, this one will make you listen to that one, or you just get like the gist of this one, that style isn't something you can surely shape your style, but you shouldn't worry about your style specifically, because it'll eventually become a thing. You know, whatever you like or love, your style, like if you're drawing from that as reference, your style is gonna levitate towards that, but it's still gonna become its own thing, and that is the aim. You shouldn't worry though. Like, it's not worth like wondering what your style will be. Your style will be whatever it'll be, basically. Like, it's not something you have control over, you know. Like, it'll just be your influences.
It is
all
what it
sort
is.
of coming up like with all the experience that you have. So just enjoy the journey basically, and just keep drawing and draw with like I don't know, understand what you're drawing when you're drawing it. Like don't just use reference. Like I'm just gonna draw. Like basically drawing from reference where you draw the silhouette rather than understanding, your shapes.
Yeah.
So those are the two things that I would take away from this. And that is basically how we got into where we are today, I guess.
Yeah. And we're still doing it.
And still doing it and still wanting to get better. And I'm 35 now. I thought I was 36, but I was wrong because Robert is turning 36.
We're almost there.
Almost there. But it's been a long journey. And there's like a bunch of 17-year-olds that are way better than, like they're close to where I am or better, which is insane because I didn't even have that reference when I was 17. You know what I mean? Like,
no, hell no.
I had a couple of printouts.
Not even puberty.
Didn't even have that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck to everybody out there.
Si, signore.
And, don't forget to hashtag Sketchbook Heroes.
Yeah.
When,
or tag us if you've done something cool or listening to the podcast.
Please.
See.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Moving on.
Skipping tools?
Skipping tools. Moving on.
Moving on. I have nothing.
Nothing.
All right. So welcome back to Retro Homework. That's Retro Heroes. Homework? Hey, Ruby. Raggy. Raggy Roo. So, yeah. So how many of you have watched the
Pantom?
Yeah, the Pantom. PH Pantom.
Yeah, so this was the homework.
Yeah.
I just assume nobody listens this far. So if you're still listening, it's time to wake up.
Yeah, Thomas is talking to you. And Ubalancerad, you enjoy this shit.
And we already talked about Blade, so Adam, you can go to bed.
You can go to bed, buddy.
Yep.
You're free to go.
Say hi to your mom. So The Phantom, this amazing gem of a movie from 1996, I think.
It's not that important.
It's not that important at all. With this one, I don't remember the name of the director, the writer, half of the actors.
It's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it.
But it's so fucking awesome. I had so much fun watching it.
And you got to keep in mind that this is like one of the earlier attempts to make comic book movies, and this is before Blade as well, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. When did we say Blade came out?
97?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so
or
this
98, or because Matrix came out 99, so.
There you go. So this was like in the beginning of all of that superhero hype. So you could almost see this as a trial
96,
run. 96? Yeah. Trial run for the good ones to come afterwards. But I really I have to salute the people that made this movie because they really went all in. And I'm sure they must have had so much fun making this movie. So Billy Zane is the Phantom, or Kit Walker as his...
and if you don't know who Billy Zane is, the bad guy from Titanic, basically.
Yeah,
for most of you. That's, I think, where you will know him from.
The big famous role.
Yeah, because I know him from Demon Knight.
I was just going to say. Yeah. And he's bald in that one, just so you know.
Yeah, entirely bald. Yeah.
But
now he's bald for real. Like, he can't grow that hair out.
No, that's true. He's also in Back to the Future, actually.
What?
Yeah, in the first one.
Who is he in the fucking first?
You remember, like, the Biff crew?
Yeah.
He's one of
the guys?
Yeah, so he gets, like, all the shit dumped on him.
Oh, my God. I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Sticks out like a sore thumb. As soon as you know who it is, like, that's all you're going to see.
Holy crap.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, so The Phantom, like, I really don't know. And you said you'd read some of the comics?
Yeah, but it's like, I just read, like I didn't get every issue because my dad used to work at this place and he would take a couple of the comics home, anything that wasn't sold. He just basically got them for free because the boss always like gave him shit for free because he really loved my dad. And
so do I.
And he just he always brought them home, because he used to commute to work, so I think he just read them on the way or something.
Oh, nice.
And then he would just give them to me or, my brother. And it was just like random issues here and there. But some of the lore was basically sort of how the Phantom, like how the legend of the Phantom, like eventually I learned that. And they basically mentioned it in the movie as well. I don't remember, it's been years. But it's basically like everyone thinks he's immortal. Because they keep passing it, the torch basically. So when one Phantom dies, like a son picks up the mantle and keeps on.
Yeah.
So the Phantom has died on several occasions eventually.
Yeah.
And then just like a living relative of some sort somehow picks up that mantle and keeps going.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
So with this movie, they don't mention it at all in the movie. I really try to look at it now, but according to the behind-the-scenes stuff that I've seen, Billy Zane's character is like number 21 in the lineage.
Oh, okay.
So he's got this added pressure of 20 Phantoms before him, and that he needs to live up to. So I think that's an interesting aspect sort of to have in the back of your head. Maybe.
Yeah. And they hint to it in the movie.
They do. Like you can see sort of, I don't know if they're graves or whatever.
But they say it, the bad guys as well. Because the one guy's like, I'm part of your brotherhood.
Exactly.
I've killed the Phantom. And he says,
we've all killed
the Phantom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's been around.
But I think it's a cool thing. And the Phantom isn't like a superhero. He's just this dude who is very well trained. And he's almost Batman. That's pretty much what he is.
It is fucking Batman. Yeah, it feels exactly like it. He has his own cave. He has but this is before Batman.
Exactly.
Batman does not exist.
This is really important. So the Phantom, the comic strips. It was in magazine, proper papers, I guess.
Before it became its own thing as well.
And that was published, I think, 3 years before Superman, which I've always thought was the first superhero.
Yeah.
But no, I've missed out. Like, I haven't done enough research. I feel ashamed. But the Phantom came first, which means Batman is this total fucking ripoff. But, yeah. So, going back to the movie.
Yeah.
In general, thoughts, ideas, what did you think of the movie? Because I kind of hyped it up a little bit too much, I think.
No, I thought it was enjoyable. They do a lot of those, it's a shitty movie. Let's start there.
Yeah.
It's shit.
I recommended this movie, so you should know this by now.
But it is fun. It is fun. You got to give them that. Because what they're trying to sort of, the first thing you notice in this movie is that everyone's talking like a bad guy. And it sounds like they're doing a commercial for something.
Yeah.
And it always feels like anyone who's talking, especially the bad guys, they're talking to a crowd of people.
Yeah.
But it's 3 people in the movie.
Yes,
but he's
exactly.
the monologue is so
it's with the second skull we will reach the third skull.
And then he's talking to the one guy.
Exactly.
And they all have this I come from New York, it's blah, 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 and I'm a bad guy, and I'm right, Tony? And he's like, yeah, man. So, everyone's a character. It's so fake.
Yeah.
And they're trying to, make it into this,
But
comic.
it takes place in the 30s.
Yeah.
Which is why I think everybody sort of pushes it that extra, because
but
that's sort of what the movies
Yes,
like.
but it is insane.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, pal.
He's like, you're boss of the bosses. You're just what the fuck is boss of the bosses? And it's just everything is so stupid. All the characters are over the top. I think what is her name? Christy Swanson? Chrissy Swanson?
Who?
Her name?
Daisy?
The Christy Swanson. Yeah, the Diana Palmer.
Oh,
lady.
Diana. Yeah.
she's the only one who actually talks normally.
Yeah.
And I think the women actually.
Yeah.
Like
Catherine Zeta-Jones is
Catherine
pretty
Zeta-Jones
normal
and
as well.
yeah, but everyone else.
Yeah.
And the script is so garbage. Like it's so badly written.
Yeah.
And remember that boyfriend type of guy that is supposed to like Diana is the girl that is gonna get saved, but she's also awesome, basically.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Kind of.
And yeah, they kind of lose it in the movie a bit. She's more a damsel in distress, but she can throw a punch.
Yeah.
But just like the weird boyfriend type of guy that kisses her in the first scene.
The Me Too guy.
Yeah, the Me Too guy.
That's
basically.
what I call him.
Oh, that is perfect because
that's
like,
what
he gets no introduction. He follows her to the kitchen and then kisses her on the mouth.
Yep.
And you can basically it feels improvised to the point where she just does a face.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel fake. It feels like that's not in the script.
It's genuine disgust.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And this guy pops up at some other point as well.
And then that's it.
And he's like, "Who are you?" to the Phantom guy when he's like not dressed as the Phantom.
He's like, we're friends in college. And then he just like, "Oh, okay." And then
but he says it like, "Okay." And then he does this weird walk.
It turns around and
turns
walks.
like cartoony around and waves his arms. Like imagine like Mr. Magoo or someone like walking. Just like it's so weird. It's basically like a Disney animation cycle, where they're walking and it's like exaggerated. That's what that guy felt like.
I think they probably got the direction of like, remember, this is a comic book
I think
movie.
That was pushed a lot.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're a comic book villain.
Yeah.
And then that's why everyone has like this crazy monologues of like waving their arms and doing weird shit and saying weird things.
It's beautiful. It's so fucking funny. It's great. And like the script writer,
Who now?
The Who now.
Was there really a script writer?
Yes. So he actually helped write the Lethal Weapon movies. He helped write Indiana Jones.
The fourth one?
Especially not the fourth one. The Last Crusade one with Sean Connery. I'm not sure if he was involved in any of the other ones.
That's
maybe
the one with the Nazis,
maybe the first
right? With Sean Connery, I mean.
All of them are with Nazis, bro.
Were they?
1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Really? Holy shit! You're
yeah. My stomach is on point as always. Yes.
Were they all with Nazis? Even
they were
the
all
one
Nazis.
where they pulled out the heart? You sure?
That's not Nazis. No,
There
that's
you go.
Kali, like some Indian sect.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, the first one, Nazis. Second one, Kali. Third one, Nazis. Third one, Ruskies. Fourth one, I mean.
Fourth one, garbage. I think that's.
I still enjoy it. It's really bad, but I do like
it. As soon as the ants come in, I'm fucking out.
As soon as the monkeys come in, dude.
As soon as anything comes in, basically, as soon as
Shia LaBeouf comes in, as soon as the refrigerator comes in, as soon as
it's just rubbish. Like there's so much she If anyone gets that reference, you're good. But
yeah. So the Phantom, very good, over the top acting, 100%. But
it has one of the best kill scenes though.
Which one?
Where he chokes them out with his butt.
Oh my god! Like, what the fuck happened? Yeah.
He walks into this like little storage or like pan room or something like.
Yeah. I think it's an engine room.
Engine room. That's the word. Pandrum is maybe Swedish. Fuck it. And he just he gets undressed, so the bad guys come in and find these like clothes.
And they're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? And then suddenly the Phantom imagine he's lying on his stomach and throws his leg around two people's throats.
Scissor
grabs them. Yeah, exactly.
With his legs.
And then the one guy that's closest, super close to his butt. And it's it's awkward, but then they all have to act, so they're being choked while he's shaking his butt basically in their face.
Yeah, and what happens when you get choked, Ilias?
You loosen your tongue.
Yes, you do.
So it's basically like one of those religious videos that you've seen on YouTube where they're like, the demons fly out of this man. Yeah, exactly. And they're losing, they just lose control and they're losing their tongues and shit. Yeah. And that's basically what it is.
Yeah. So this guy was pretty much just going down on Billy Zane's ass. Yeah, while being choked.
It's so weird.
So weird. But it's the first time I've ever seen a double scissor choke.
A double scissor choke. Yeah, exactly.
That takes a lot of balls and 2 legs.
It did take
and 2 people.
Just like, no, but it's such a weird decision to take.
Yep.
Like, whoever thought, like, he jumps on and grabs 2 people in between his legs and then chokes them. Like,
and they both get choked out at the same time.
Because I feel like if you're choking, like, the first guy, you wouldn't be able to close on, like, your legs to choke the next one.
Hell no. Which you could very clearly see.
Yeah. But it is such a... They also did, like, one of my favorite moves is when the pirate is supposed to, like... there's pirates.
There's pirates.
And one of the pirates is, like drives his sword through a guy. It's, like, the theater way of doing it, where he's, like... through the armpit, like underneath the arm. And then you see the guy's hand.
He's holding. He shoved his hand straight through him. But it also has the sound effect of like a sword going through a body, which is so fun.
So awkward. So bad.
But, all that aside, it's a fun adventure movie.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous Phantom outfit.
It's so bad.
I don't know what happened. And it's Stan Winston. Stan Winston Creature Shop. They have some talented people, right?
Right? They weren't working on that one? Maybe there was another movie they were working on?
Yeah, maybe.
And they were like, son, here's something, do something with
they were working on the Punisher movie, and they gave like no, we're not going with the spandex. Use it for the Phantom.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
it's such a weird movie. But watch this with a friend. Like, this is not... Like
pretty much all the movies that we watch are those types of movies.
Yeah, but because when you're with a friend, it also just adds a little more fun to these movies.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, just watching them by yourself, it can easily get, like, annoying. Like, I think, depending on who you are, I can still enjoy, like, a bad movie on my own. But I think...
that's the only way to go for me, man.
but there are some people that just, like, these movies are not for you alone. Like, you need someone there. Like a wingman for these movies. These are, but I think it's a great way to hang out because you don't have to be quiet. It's not like you're going to miss the plot.
No.
Like, as soon as the bad guys were monologuing, we were just like imitating or laughing at them or talking about something entirely different.
Or playing with the dog. Yeah.
Or playing with the dog that we had in the office, the French bulldog that we called a pug.
But yeah.
As soon as I pressed send last time, I was like, that's not a pug. It's just like way smaller.
But it just sounds better, Pugcast.
Pug, yeah. Pugcast was fun, though.
Yeah, but what else did I want to say? Oh, yeah. The suit. The fucking suit.
The suit was, I think, the most annoying. Like, they managed to make the Phantom, like, they're on this plane. He saved Diana, and they're escaping by plane. The bad guys shoot at the plane. They're leaking fuel, and it's starting to, like, go down because they're losing fuel too fast.
Mm-hmm.
They managed to make that scene look awesome. Like, except, like, one of the... Like, there's a horse, like, Ghost, right? Hero, fuck. Yeah. And he's, like, catching up to the plane, and the Phantom's like, get ready, get down the wing, and then they just jump off and then land on the horse, and that they managed to make this all...
It works.
Yeah. It works. Like, for being a movie from 96, and they managed to, like, there's a scene where the plane is in the air, like, speeding, and the horse is underneath, and they jump off, and they make that look...
It's practical. It's practical stuff. It's not done...
No, it's just they're filming, like, smart. Yeah.
Exactly. And then... I think if you look really carefully, you can see like the harness on one of the stunt people and stuff, which, I mean, I didn't notice it, even if I looked for it now. I don't know if you saw anything.
No, I didn't see anything. I just was impressed that it looked that good for 96 because they filmed everything else in this movie.
Yeah.
And they managed to pull that off, but they couldn't make the suit not look stupid.
Exactly. It's so, and like you pointed out, like, why do we see him in broad fucking daylight?
Like the
full half,
Phantom,
the full half of the movie.
It's just
the
daylight,
full first half of the movie is daylight. So there's like, there's no way to make him look
cool,
remotely cool.
Yeah, or sneaky, or like What did they call him? They called him
The
something.
walking ghost, the ghost who walks.
The Ghost Who Walks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's none of that. Like,
No.
there's no...
It
There's
was-
just, like...
He was not even
He
walking.
walks. He walks. Like, he prances.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah,
has
yeah.
this little,
That's-
like,
yeah, he's sort
Step.
of like...
Yeah, he has this, like...
he's skipping around
Yeah,
a bit.
skipping. Like, they kick these bad guys' ass, and then he just skips, basically. Like, if you add,
Yeah.
like, a little happy tune, you're good.
Yeah,
Which is also a weird thing.
exactly. But it just makes it even better.
Because in the comic, he's basically Batman without ears and
Oh, yeah.
cape, you know?
Oh, he is a fucking badass.
Yeah, and he's awesome. And but there's this scene about this daylight thing that we're talking about. I was like, why the fuck didn't they just do this at night? Like, they could have just pulled it off because he'd be in the shadows, he wouldn't be seen.
It'd be such a cool...
And as soon as I
fucking-
say that, he sneaks onto a boat. You know how they like...
Oh, yeah,
when
he
they're-
like
the-
shimmies
Yes,
on top of the
there's
rope thing.
Yeah, the rope thing.
Yeah.
That's what they do in the dark,
Yeah.
not to be seen, to get on the boat.
In pretty much every ninja
In
movie.
every
ever.
ninja movie, any action movie
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they're trying to get on the boat, if
Yeah.
it's a big boat, they climb on the rope, you know, to get on board. And the Phantom does this in broad daylight.
Yeah.
A man in a purple suit,
Spandex.
spandex, nonetheless, climbs on the side of the boat like he would be seen. Like, because he's basically a plum
Yeah.
walking around. And it's just, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to support that decision if I would have been
but
involved.
that's what I'm saying. Like, they must have been really afraid of the producer.
Yeah.
Like,
Or they just wanted it
to
like
be
really
over with?
Yeah, yeah, probably that. I know they had a lot of issues with rain. Like they were in Thailand for 23 or 24 days, and it rained for like 23 or 24 days. So, like, they had so much
man.
trouble. They had to carry their fucking equipment by hand into the forest because they couldn't drive anywhere because the cars got stuck. It's insane. So I'm sure a lot of that was like, fuck it, we'll just do everything in daylight. If we have sun, we'll shoot it. Like,
Oh my god.
but it could have also been a choice to make it more family friendly and loose, like
Yeah,
not
maybe.
loosey goosey, just happier, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Like what they wanted to do with Deadpool too.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, you know, because people only see him in the black and white comics. Maybe it's colored too now. I don't know. I actually don't know. But maybe they're like, oh, right, let's just show them straight away, like right in their faces. Yeah. But I agree. Totally wrong decision. They should have just stuck with, have him in civilian clothing, maybe in broad
In
daylight.
broad
Maybe
daylight,
put
yeah.
like some rag around your head or something to disguise yourself. Do the Daredevil thing from
Yeah.
season 1. That would have been awesome.
You know what I like as well? When he's been captured as Kit Walker, he escapes them by doing this weird kick, runs into the boiler room,
Yeah.
or machine,
Yeah.
and then just switches to the Phantom clothes, and no one connects the dots.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the other guy escaped. Now the Phantom is here. Basically, you're just like,
Everybody look out, the Phantom's here. Oh, and by the way, the Kit Walker guy is probably naked running around somewhere. You better look out for him too. But I'm sure he's not dangerous at all. So, yeah, let's just find the purple guy that was in the jungle yesterday. But he's here now. So,
And the movie has this problem with like pacing. So basically, the Phantom is he pops up into this place to save the girl, and then they grab a plane. Oh yeah, by the way, he has his wolf with him.
yeah.
So the
Who's
wolf,
an actual wolf? It's pretty
he's
cool.
an actual wolf. He's attacking the bad guys.
Devil. Sorry. Yeah, it's so good.
But he's fighting the people on the boat, and then the wolf comes and it's fighting the people on the boat, and then him and the Phantom and Diana run to the boat, get on the boat, and then like the plane starts flying. Then this horse starts running from somewhere, and the horse is basically keeping up with this plane that's flying super far, from what I can tell.
What you missed was that the wolf ran to the horse and told the horse.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna get to,
yeah,
because
okay.
The wolf also ran super fast, and they basically all made the same time. And okay, so there's just the one plane.
Yeah.
So as soon as they jump off the plane that's crashing like super far away, as soon as they land, the plane basically just hits the mountain, explodes, and then there's like these bad guys just come out of the basically the same place as the plane crashed.
Yep,
They're
that's
just
exactly
like fly out of the fucking bushwork.
Yeah.
And they're back in the chase. And I was like, how did they get around them? Like, how did they circle around?
Because the plane
without a plane
flew over like the ocean
the
first.
fucking ocean.
And then the wolf ran to tell the horse. The horse runs
faster than the plane.
Yeah, so they can jump onto the horse, and that's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay, but
because the wolf told the horse, so that's how it knew where the plane was gonna be. Yeah, but the fucking bad guys come from the opposite direction. Yeah, blasting out of the fucking jungle.
Yeah, in a big like van jeep, yeah, I don't even know a truck. Yes, thank you, a truck. So. Everyone knows that a truck doesn't drive that fast to catch up to a fucking plane that flies
through
over
a rainforest. By the way,
through rainforest.
Yeah.
And they okay. Let's just give them that they've managed to drive through the rainforest in that truck. But
no fucking way it's gonna come close to the same speed as a fucking airplane.
Yes, but let's give him that worked. Okay?
No,
let's give him that.
No.
And then the Phantom and Diana are on the horse now. So Hero rides them through the forest, and suddenly that truck can't make its way through the rainforest anymore.
It's got too many trees.
Yeah, it's too many trees. And then there's this one log. Yeah. And when I'm talking about log, imagine like rainforest trees that are, like you could see them basically from the other side of the fucking earth. But no one sees this tree.
No.
And then they just crash into it and the bad guys just fly out of the truck. I was like, you made it all the way from the other side of this fucking island or, like you flew through the ocean with this truck. I don't know what you did.
It was impressive nonetheless.
It was. Yeah. Like in 3 parsecs, they got through that jungle. And just like entered this area that was super impossible to get through.
Yeah.
Like they all turned into like truck morons in just milliseconds.
Yeah.
It's just like
good.
Yeah.
So good.
And I also love the fact that when he torpedoes the girls out of the place.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like, oh, get into what is this, like a torpedo chute? And he's just like, I'll shoot you out to the surface. And you're like, wait, what?
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, because I thought he was going to put them in that sort of like the like the thing and then blast.
No, the torpedo.
I
shell.
thought it was I didn't know it was a torpedo shell.
Yeah,
I thought he was just going to put them in and just shoot them out of the water. Basically,
I thought it was a fucking submarine.
Yeah, because you thought it was a submarine.
Like, how the fuck did they know how to drive a submarine?
Yeah,
like no,
but it was like a torpedo shell, like an empty case, where he just like he puts them in there. And one of the bad girls is now a good girl, and they go into this thing, and he shoots them out. Then he has this like fight with this one guy. He's like, I already killed you. You killed my father. And then he just like, they fight, and it takes up, some time.
A long time.
Yeah, and then he fights this other guy.
Like the big bad.
The big bad guy that has like these like skulls that this movie apparently is about.
Yeah. That
you get back to at the end. And then they start shooting lasers and shit. And then there's this like Harry Potter moment where they both aim their wands at each other, like literally. That.
Did you post that story by the way?
No, I still have it. Yeah. and it just goes bananas. And then once he sort of like somehow kills the bad. Oh yeah, he incinerates him.
Blows up.
Yeah, because his wand is bigger than his or something like that. I don't remember.
Like, it really isn't.
No, it isn't. It's a tiny skull, yeah.
It's not how big it is, it's how you use it.
That's true. Yeah. Go Phantom. Team Phantom, go.
Yeah.
And then he somehow, like, oh yeah, I'll just like grab onto this like chain or something that's on the torpedo that I shot out 15 minutes ago. But apparently there's some slack chain.
And he just
the vicinity.
just at the right moment catches the last part of it, and
And
it's
just flies out of
safe.
the exploding pirate cave or whatever
And
the fuck it
volcano.
is. And volcano.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
secret island.
yep,
And
very mystical.
and then
What was it called? The Devil's Anus? No, the Devil's Devil's Island?
No. It was the
Devil's Eye or Devil's...
No, it's not a normal word like that. It's like the
Devil's Prosciutto.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Devil's
enough.
Devil's fuck steak. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a devil's sphinxter.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just like, it's so dumb. Like,
Yeah.
those girls would have been, and the chain, like, how long a chain was that? Because when he pops out of the water, he's not that far away.
No.
Like, the chain isn't that long.
No.
It's just like, what?
But he's the Phantom, Ilias.
But he is the Phantom. And
The
chains
ghost-
are longer for the
ghost
Phantom.
that walks. Yes.
Out of our lives.
Yes. He
And
doesn't...
out of Hollywood and out of basically anything after that.
like, in all fairness, I didn't actually see him walk that much.
No, he pranced. He did the
He pranced, he ran, he jumped,
He jumped.
jumped over cars,
And then
on
the
top of
horse
cars.
walked sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
No, it,
Did it?
no, he always like rode the horse.
Yeah, he rode the horse.
The horse hard. I just it is a great movie.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
totally
Like
worth
we're not selling it in, but it is.
But
It's a fun family sort of, like, it's a very cheeky Indiana Jones type movie with a superhero as Indiana Jones, like, kind of,
But with no superpowers.
with no superpower.
With a weird suit. I think the suit is the biggest annoyance.
Yeah.
Like, I can take the acting because the monologuing is fun.
It is fun.
It is
like,
fun.
The whole
It
movie
is
is pretty
exagger-
fun. Like,
yeah.
it feels like they make fun of themselves too, like, in a good way. You know, they're really
It is,
owning
yeah.
their roles as these over the top characters.
And it doesn't feel like the actors are making the decisions. It's like, oh no, you should do it like this because it's
probably.
a comic book.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
no, like I think the director is telling them that it's a comic book, but he
Mm.
doesn't read comics himself
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Like, it's a comic book. You gotta talk like it's a thing. You know, like, and he's just giving them this like terrible advice or like, and you can tell like the dialogue when Diana like first shows up and talks to her mother,
Yeah.
and it's just nonsense. Like, all of it is basically just shit.
Yeah. That's
It's like, I don't understand that conversation that they're having.
I
And
don't
she
remember
even,
it. At
then
all.
she even says something about, like, I don't remember. Like, it was something about her stomach or something. Like, just like something weird. Like, I don't know. Like, about not feeling good or something. You know, like,
Yeah.
and she should clean up.
Oh yeah.
Like, all the acting is weird, and then they just say something different. Like, they're talking about things, and then they just say something entirely different.
Mm.
Like, the conversation just like never happened. Like the two sentences they said before. It's just like, what? Where am I?
Yeah.
And then they start introducing like bad guys, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? Like, who wrote this? Like, how is this normal talk to you?
It definitely needed to be like half an hour longer to explain a lot of
Like,
the
a lot of-
relations or relationships in this movie, because
And the weird opening
yeah,
where they just give you like the rundown of
it's
like
like
the road so far.
yeah, it's like 30 seconds of like, oh yeah, just so you know, this guy died. That's his son. He's the Phantom. There you go.
He's 30 years old, basically. Like,
It's
basically,
like,
they
so
just-
what is the Phantom? What's he doing? What's with the tribes dudes? And
Why is he the right person to handle all this?
he's a
Like-
white guy, Elias.
He's a white guy.
Of course.
That's basically it.
I just saw the Green Book yesterday, so yeah, my brain is all. Actually, I'm reading a book called Lovecraft County, which is also about like being a black person in the 50s in the States.
Okay.
God, it's horrible. Like, it's insane, man. But yeah, so that's why my brain was wired to those jokes. Just
But
wanted
it
to
is
say that I'm
pretty on
actually,
point. Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of reading now too. I'm being smart, Ilias. I've actually wrote stuff too. I have a new story doing.
Like
developing.
working on the same thing or a new story?
A new story, but maybe wanting to tie them together, like to make it just really
Cool.
huge. There's a lot of stories. So, or maybe doing like a book with small stories that are connected somehow, you know. I don't know. Just emptying my head as I do. But I do enjoy writing or like thinking up stories and stuff.
But it is fun. I would like to tell stories. I just don't have, I don't know how to tell them. Like, you would need to start. Yeah. Just starting.
That's it. Because, I don't know how to fucking write. I'm dyslexic. I write now because I have autocorrect. But it's just like I have an idea, and that's where this got formed. The idea was I saw a family riding in a car, and it's a colored family or like a black family, and they're riding in a car, and all of a sudden they're just in 1930 or 1950s America, like on the same road, but just like boop, like that. And they've time traveled without them noticing that they have. And I just love that concept. And that's where I based, it's a lot of other stuff now, but that's where it all started. And I just got that, wrote that in a note. That sat in the note thing for 2 months or something. And then I brought it back up. And that's what happened. It's, awesome.
Yeah, dude,
creativity,
awesome
man.
Stuff. Yeah.
For the win. And Phantom.
So you should definitely watch
Phantom.
The Phantom.
It's PH.
Phantom.
The Phantom.
You gotta get the H as well.
Yeah.
Phantom. Like when you get punched in the stomach and you lose all the air in your
Corona.
Basically that, yeah.
In his Corona. Yeah. That was my way of killing this podcast.
Yeah, but I think that is good. I have nothing else to add about the Phantom. I got the rope thing.
Got the rope. Got the suit. Got the over-the-top acting.
The
missile silo.
Strangling with the butt and the thighs. Two guys at the same time.
Yeah. 2 guys and 1 leg strangle.
That is fucking awesome. Yo, bro.
I
remember the chick from Double Impact with Van Damme doing it.
Oh, yeah.
But not 2 people. She just choked the one guy, where she jumped and then just grabbed him and just like.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But this Phantom stuff, dude, spandex, 2 men, choked, motherfuckers.
Hell yeah.
Dead.
And also Diana is Buffy the Vampire Slayer from the Buffy movie.
Old movie, yeah.
And thanks for pointing that out.
Yep.
Very good.
We need to rewatch that one as well.
Yeah.
But I would totally want to see Mallrats first.
Yeah. I thought I had Buffy, but I don't remember actually seeing it when I was sorting my DVDs. So maybe I don't have it.
No.
I might have only imagined having it.
Where does that movie exist?
Probably Sci-Fi Bookstore.
Yeah. But I'll see if I can find it as well online somewhere.
Awesome.
Where we can watch it in the cinema.
Yeah. But Mallrats, I have that for
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So, for next week.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this short episode of the Sketchbook era. I don't even want it.
Yeah, it's only 2:30-ish.
Only 2:30?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun. 84, the magic one.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 100 now. Probably not going to do anything special for that one either.
Nope.
So, homework next week.
Next week, Mallrats.
Mallrats. Kevin Smith movie, his second movie, and one of our favorites. Yeah. So you know what to do. You need to watch movies, or just find your style. If you didn't do your homework, this is still a fun ride. Yeah, gather up some friends or family. It is worth maybe the 40 crowns or whatever you're going to pay for it if you're going to rent it.
But it's also go into it,
You need to know that it is what it is.
Shit, yeah. And just if you go in expecting that, I think it's just going to be a fun movie. Yeah.
And it is one of those movies that sort of grows on you a little bit too. Like the more you watch it, the more you're going to enjoy the kooky and cheesiness of it too.
But it's like when I watch Hellboy, the effects aren't that great, at all. But there's something, a guilty pleasure. There's a guilty. And Ron Perlman is an awesome Hellboy.
He's such a good Hellboy, yeah.
I haven't, since watching that, I saw that the other Hellboy is up, but I just can't watch it because I really love John.
I want you to watch it. I want you to watch it.
Perlman.
He's still gonna be Hellboy. Ron Perlman is still Hellboy for me.
Same. And I like the guy that plays the other one, you know, like the
Hopper.
Hopper. That's exactly.
I remember. I had totally missed that trailer, by the way, for season 4.
Oh no, I didn't with the Russian.
The Russian, the American, whatever.
Yeah.
So I saw that like a month ago or something. I was like, holy shit! Send it to Anna, and she's like, dude, I saw it.
Just came out like
Yeah. Like, what the fuck didn't you tell me?
Did you see that before we end this, actually, Penny Dreadful is coming back.
What?
And they're doing like this, like it's way in the future, like compared to the first one.
No.
And I don't know what I thought of that.
That doesn't sound...
Exactly what I thought.
Just leave it alone.
It didn't, like, cause I would like to know, because I thought it ended like...
Yeah, it felt rushed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they didn't have any more budget, so they had to just...
I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But I would have rather they did nothing, and then they in the future picked it up.
Because I heard it continued in comic books.
Oh, it probably did.
To explain
I'm never going to read those.
No.
But this new one looks such a weird sort of interpretation of Penny Dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
It does not have the vibe. I don't know, man. And I was like, oh my God, Penny Dreadful. And I was just like, because I loved that show. Like, it was so uncomfortable and so good. And
beautiful. Loved it.
But yeah, this new thing that they're trying to do, like maybe the trailer isn't doing it justice, but I was like, because it doesn't have any of the old actors, like any hint to them, or like, I don't know, maybe they're related somehow though, but I don't know.
It's just got to be like connected to the monsters then. Or like,
I don't know, like there wasn't a lot of that in the trailer either to like tie it together. It didn't feel as dark as Penny Dreadful, because the first time, you know, when you watch that, you're like, whoa, what dark. The fuck?
Yeah.
It is very dark, and it's about mental illness and possession, you know, and it has all those things as well,
which makes it so fucking good.
Yeah, and they give you the backstory, and you can relate to it and everything. But this new one, I don't know. Like, I hope it's good. I would love it to be, like, if there was like an explanation to what happened years ago, and then they sort of tie it into the new stuff, like 100 years in the future. I don't know. It's probably, I don't know how, because this one feels modern, but it carries the name Penny Dreadful.
But Penny Dreadful was just the name of the books. Like, nobody in the show was called Penny Dreadful.
I know.
It's just a collective name for the horror type pulp fiction books that were out at that time. So I'm assuming they just carry on that name and then bring out more like horrible stories, but now.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Like, and I haven't seen it. This is just from what you're telling me. But that's, I would guess what they would do. It feel like it'd be so unnecessary bringing back like a Frankenstein, a Wolfman. You know, like we've seen it. It's in Penny Dreadful. It's finished. It's done. Yeah. So
I really liked it though. I like it.
But I need to check that trailer out then.
Cool.
All right. Zip. Yeah, that's awesome. Then, with all that said, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for listening. And whoever listens this far and you hear this, you gotta comment on the next Sketchbook Heroes post.
Yes, please.
Just to tell us that you actually listened to the very end.
The very, very end.
We need to know who listens to the very, 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 very end.
So we know who to give the giveaways to. Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't sent out the giveaway for Melipnuts. But I'm getting to it, buddy.
Awesome.
Or
I love that we have a giveaway for that. So fucking good.
I don't even know. I'm just going to pack some shit in a bag, basically.
Fantastic. Oh, man.
So, cool.
Yeah. All right. So, everybody have a great week.
Exactly.
And, don't die.
Exactly. Don't corona away from us. We love you.
No corona. That actually works for me because I'm not making any money. So
no corona. Yeah, the Swedish money currency.
Corona. Yeah. I got no corona. Yeah, everybody knows.
In Greek, you say corona.
Oh, corona virus.
For the Swedish currency, actually. Not the.
Nah.
I found a font that was called corona.
We're already ended the fucking podcast. Why are we still
at the
talking?
end of the podcast. Hey, goodbye.